everybody, and welcome to Captain Mac Live. This is your opportunity to watch me struggle my way through a flight while you ask me a bunch of random questions. So let's get a roll call going here. I see that Pat's here, and I see that T-Spokes is here. And while you guys are jumping on there to say hello, I'm going to check this microphone here. You all know the struggles I have with this thing. Okay, so it's probably a little loud right now. Let's bring it down a bit. How is it at 80, guys? I'm going to set it at 80. You tell me how it sounds to you. Obviously, there's not a lot of background noise right now, so it should sound fine now. I guess we'll see how it is once the engines get going. Actually, I had the webcam the last couple of flights, Pat. Everybody wanted to see what I look like, so here I am. To answer your question, T-Spokes, I did write it in there, but no, I'm not on VATSIM. I've explained a bunch of times why I don't typically use VATSIM, so I'm not really going to go into depth or detail on it here, but we're not going to be flying on VATSIM today, and I don't know if we'll ever be flying on VATSIM, to be honest with you, or IVAO for that matter, but we'll see. Things can change. Can you hear me now? Don't tell me the voice isn't working now. Hello. Okay, test 1, 2, 3. Here, let me write it down here. Oh, come on. Don't read that, actually. Tell me if you can hear me now. Let's see here. Should be working fine, I don't know. Oh, okay. So, did it kick in there? Did you get the whole intro thing, or do I gotta start over again? Should have started with, hello everybody. Oh, goodness gracious. What do we got? We only got like 4 people on here today. That's a little sad. Hopefully some more people will jump in. Anyway, who else we got on here? I'll bet Easy's on here. I talked to him a little while ago, and he said he was going to hop on his little tablet or something like that. So we're 2 minutes into it, and we've only had 1 problem so far. So that's got to be some kind of record, right? Okay, here we go. I don't know how far behind the stream is for you guys, so I don't know. I got 14:03 right now, so we'll see how far behind it is for you guys, but I guess we ought to jump in and get going here. Now, I don't know if JetBlue 77 is going to be on here today. I got bad news for you, buddy. You were outvoted again. So I don't know. You know what I think it is, man? You want us to do that flight in the E195, but if you go to the Life of Virtual Airline Pilot series, I've been doing E195 and E175 for like the last 15 flights or something like that. So I'm guessing that people are probably just getting tired of seeing that thing. So if you happen to be on here today, or if not and you catch this video, throw down in the comments if you're willing to do it in a different aircraft. But if not, we'll keep throwing it up there until it gets voted for. So in the meantime, our flight today is going to be KSFB to KMEM in the iFly 747, this big hunk of steel that you see sitting in front of you right here. So what do you say we start with our flight planning here? PFPX as always for me. Go ahead and add a flight in there, and what is it, NCR, right? Don't forget that our view will be changed when we jump back into the flight sim. It'll be flight 2336 because it always is for us. And KSFB to KMEM. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't really care about the departure time. Doesn't matter. We're good with that. So there she is right there. It's not that long of a flight, 500 something nautical miles. So let's plan it out. Probably get lots of coughing going on today. Should be a good time. Aircraft database. You guys have seen me do this before. If you have any questions while I'm going through this, go ahead and pop them up there. Of course, they'll be delayed, so I'll get to them as quickly as I can, but it is what it is, right? There's the iFly down there. Go ahead and apply that one. Now, we are going to do something rather interesting today. I don't know what the maximum landing weight is for this aircraft. But max landing, there it is right there, 630,000 pounds. Let me write that down. Wow, I got a mess on this thing here. Max, there's probably like a V number for that or something. Max landing weight is 630,000 pounds. which should make it, let's see, so what's the max zero fuel is 542,000. Okay. I'm going to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go max payload, and I'll tell you why. Because for the sake of trying to make this one a little more entertaining, to have a little more fun with it, we are going to make this aircraft absolutely as heavy as we can. So, max zero fuel weight was what again? Let's just throw a number in there and see. Oh, come on. Stop being a bugger. Max zero fuel. Oh, it's right there in front of my face. Come on. Max zero fuel is 542,500 pounds. So it was right there in front of my face. Max zero fuel weight, 542,500. So we're going to try and max this sucker out today and see if we can even get it off the ground. That should make it interesting. Not too far out of our way as far as the route goes. Almost direct there. Let's see. We will probably not hit ORL, but we'll see. We'll decide. Let's find the alternates here. Anybody want me to zoom in and look at those? Good, because I'm not gonna. Compute flight. Let's see. One warning. Alternate route from KMEM to KNQA, which is up here, has been generated with a different database. Okay, well, we should be alright. Back to results page. Release the flight. Yes, we want to continue. Let me get a notepad doc up here. That way we've got this guy on standby. Bring that over there. And we need to export it now. Okay, let's see. We need to make sure it goes to FSX. That one there. And then to iFly, which it does not right now. So the iFly 747 V2. Click on that. Save them both. Okie dokie. And there we go. Somebody just text me. Is that you, Easy? I bet you it is. No, it's not. Somebody hit me on Twitter. Not a big Twitter fan thus far. Okay, there's our flight. I think we're pretty straightforward there, so let's close this out. See, told you we'd have a different view. Boy, we have all kinds of a mess going on here. Let's see. Cockpit. This one we want right here. Go to 1. All right. Cold and dark as she should be. There's Easy on there. Not a new webcam. I had it for quite a while. I was just too lazy to set it up. But she's up and running now, and I guess the sound's working, so that's good. Alrighty. Fun stuff today, folks. Fun stuff. Okay. Do we want to grab our weather yet? Nope. Let's not even bother with weather right now. Here's what I want to do. Let's hop over here. See if we can get one of these to power up. KMEM. Should be able to just hold down the menu button, right? Maybe you have to do this one. Or maybe you have to turn the battery on. I guess we have to turn the battery on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn ground power on. So click on the battery there. Not a single light came on. That is concerning. Let's see if it'll come on now. Rutro Rorge. Am I gonna have to restart this thing? Is this one coming on? Usually you just hold down the menu button for a couple seconds and it clicks on. I turned the battery on, but we didn't get anything of. Maybe you gotta have the standby on too. Ah, that's what it is. Standby power's gotta be on too. Okay, there we go. Go over here. Let me come up a little so you can see it better. Go to simulation, next page, ground support, and ground power. And we want to connect it. There it is. We'll hop back up top here. Ground power is now available. Go ahead and click both of those. And now we've got power on the aircraft. And somebody texted me again. Oh, yep, it is. Didn't text, but did chat. Yes, we saw you on there, Easy. Thank you, sir. That was Easy texting me, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. Him and I are good friends. We've been good friends for a couple years now at least. So, yes, standby power switch. Thank you. Thank you, Easy. and Black Suppa. Really? Black supper? Okay. Sorry, I gotta laugh at that one. Oh, my nose is itching again. These friggin' allergies are killing me. I need to leave this state. This is ridiculous. Okay. So what we need to do here, the reason I want to go to standby, or not standby, but to ground power is I want to actually, I want to set this thing up. Let's return here, and we need to go to, no, we need to go to fuel and payload. Refuel and payload. Alright, so, based on our flight plan here, that's this guy. It says we need 54,254 pounds of fuel. Good times. And that's for max payload with the zero fuel weight maxed out at 542,500. So that puts our total, let me see if I got this right. Our total weight, what is this? 146, 180. That can't be right. What is DOW, guys? 396, 312. It's got to be both of these combined, right? I'm actually confused by this now. Dirt. Waiting for an answer. Hey, Cruz, how are you, buddy? Okay. Well, here's the point here is that we are going to max this sucker out. So let's start by refueling it. Let's put in the fuel we need. We'll go to total fuel because it's a lot easier. So our desired fuel is let's see, 54,254. So let's go 54. Let's see, 542. No, that ain't gonna be right. Right now it's at 3. No. Okay, come on, brain function. So it's 54. Let's make it 54.3. That should work. Set it. Okay, there's our fuel. So we're gonna be cutting it close on fuel. Now let's go back here. I'm looking over here to see if you guys dry operating weight. Okay, thank you, easy. So DOW is dry operating weight. So what's the total next to it then? What's this? Why do we have this here? Is this the total cargo? So this is the aircraft's weight without cargo, and then this is the cargo, which brings us to max zero fuel weight of 542,500. That's my guess. I'll wait for Easy to answer because Easy knows everything. That's my guy, by the way. Anytime you hear me say I got a guy when it comes to FSX stuff, Easy's my guy. He's the guy I go to. Okay, so we got fuel in there. Payload. Okay, pilot is, well, I'm a little heavier than that actually. I'm 200 pounds. 210 actually. Shh. Don't tell anybody. We'll say the co-pilot's 185 pounds. Crew is good. I mean, technically we don't really have a crew, right? Because it's cargo. So we could probably put 0 for crew. Invalid entry. Okay, we'll leave crew as it is then. Let's see. Aft baggage. So this is broken down because this is not just a cargo aircraft. This thing is literally broken down. Oh dear God, this is going to take a while. I need like a max payload thing, right? That would be nice, a max payload. But I don't see that because this is aft baggage down here, right? First class forward baggage. No. Is it? Or is that's not the total, 29,000? 23, no, it's definitely more than 29,000. This sucks, guys. Didn't watch the planning operation. I use FSC. Thank you, easy. Okay. Let's see, how do we figure this out? Here's what we're gonna do. Don't mind all this messy stuff here. We're gonna go to the where's iFly? Oh yeah, it's down here because they're in alphabetical order. Dirt configuration tool. Okay, full. That's what we want. Now, I believe this is based on fuel or something like that. I don't know. Why is everything in kilograms now? Oh, I'm losing my freaking mind. Yeah, that's with full on fuel too, but I'm not worried about that at the moment. I just want to get full passenger loadout, which in pounds is, that's gross weight, fuel weight, 0 fuel weight, cargo weight. This isn't really helping, is it? This isn't helping at all, actually. This is actually starting to get annoying. Let's try updating it. Says done. Let's see if it does it. Looks like it did. But we would be overweight now, right? Let's see if it did the fuel too. Nope, it didn't do the fuel, but it looks like it did the packs. Alright, so we should be maxed out now. Anybody have any comments on that before we get started? Because I'm sure I screwed that up really bad. Okay. Let's dive right in then. Flight plan, load. That's us. There we go. And what do we got just right out the gate here? Let's just go to conditions at K. Oh, look, it hopped outside. KSFB. Excuse me. Wind is 310 at 4. Or you could say 318 if you want to do magnetic. 310 at 4 knots. And the pressure is 3006. How's everybody doing today? You want the iFly? Yeah, it's a nice airplane, isn't it? Alright, so we're good on that. There's our weather for now. I don't think I installed the gauge in here. No, you know what? I didn't need to, because the weather actually works in the iFly with Active Sky 2016. So, and you should see that today. So let me think, where are we at here? I think we're good. We can shrink that down. We don't need that anymore, right? You guys are usually more talkative in there. I got 90 on here. I don't know what our max is. We had like 25 last live stream or something. That was a fun flight too into LOWI, wasn't it? Okay, let me see here. We're on ground power. Let's go ahead and let's do these guys. Over to nav. Back to align. And then I'm quite certain they have to go back to nav. Because if you go to... Yeah, so you won't do anything until I put them back to nav. So put them back to nav now. It's kind of weird how that is, if you ask me. Because there's no way they align that fast, right? Index, ident, position initialization. So they're going to let me do it now. I'm sure I screwed something up. It's been one of those days, guys. It's been one of those days. Let's go ahead and start by putting our route in. We'll get that figured out in a minute. Company route. KSFB to KMEM. And 01 for us. Hey, look, it worked. Flight's 2336, as always. I haven't even looked at the checklist yet, so we're just getting her fired up. Execute and performance initialization. So 0 fuel weight. See, now that's too high, because the max 0 fuel weight was 542,500. So we were definitely over. So let's hop over here real quick, because we won't even get off the ground with that. And let's find refuel and payload. So it's at 599. We clearly have to take quite a bit out. We got to take like 50,000 pounds out, and you can't just take it out from wherever, right? Let's see if this thing will do it for us again. iFly configuration. How do we do this, guys? Random's not going to cut it, and we can't do full. We know that. See, this is baggage, right? Let's bring the baggage down. And we're still 4,000 over. Whoop. I want to try and keep them kind of even here. A little more. Okay, 1,000 over. Take a little out of there. Okay. Update. Done. Exit. Okay, it updated for us. We should be good now, right? Let's find out. Who's laughing at me right now? 0 fuel weight. There we go. 542 on the nose. Look at that. Just a skosh under, so we're good. So reserve fuel is going to be 12,000 pounds. There she is. And cost index is going to be 75. And cruise altitude is going to be flight level 300 if we can even get to that. Alright. Easy says I got to put in my... Put it in where, dude? position. Yeah, it's not letting me do anything. Reference airport up here. Let's try that. KSFB. Camo. Wrong one. Okay. But I don't think they're aligning, to be honest with you, because we didn't do it down here. So let's put them back to align for now, because it's supposed to ask for it down here. It's not doing it. That's bothering me. That's bothering me a lot. Okay. Let that sit for a minute. I know we're supposed to put it back to nav before you actually enter the GPS position. So I don't, but the boxes got to show up down here. So let's do some checklist items, and then we'll come back and we'll see. We'll put those back on nav and see what it does. Okay. All right. So we've loaded fuel. That's taken care of. Flight plan's taken care of. Obviously, we went in cold and dark, all that good stuff. By the way, checklist is this guy. Yeah. Full checklist. Okay. So battery's already on. Standby power already to auto. Let's hop up here. We should have put the bus tie switches on auto as well, which is these guys here. So that would have helped. Generator control switches can all come on. That's these four here. I don't know why my views are off by a little bit all of a sudden. Hydraulic demand pump switches 1 through 3 all go off, and then 4 goes on auxiliary. I've already set that up. And then engine hydraulic pump selectors all go on. Is that these? Yeah. Those 4 here. And then external power switches are on. Panel lights, we don't need any of those. Electric engine control switches, normal and save. That's these guys up here. I don't mess with them. I made the mistake of messing with the drive disconnect once. Bad op, folks. Bad op. Utility power switch left and right comes on. I kind of hate how it goes down and then comes back up, but. And then nav, logo, and wing lights on. Nav, wing, and logo. Let me have a drink of my Red Bull. This is not an advertisement, by the way. Now, if they want to pay me a bunch of money, I'll be more than happy to advertise for them. Alright, emergency lights need to be armed. That's these guys here, and they're already taken care of. And then IRS alignment. IRS switches 1 through 3, all to off. We did that. Then they go to nav. We did that. Then they go to align. Okay? And while they're in the align mode, you're supposed to go to the ident page. Okay? This is what it says to do. Go to the ident page. Right here. Okay? And then position initialization, that one there, and then copy the GPS position. So I don't really know. Yeah, I got rid of the default alignment time. It's supposed to be like 90 seconds, but they're not aligning. So here's what I'm going to do. I've dealt with this once or twice before making videos. Turn them all off. Let them sit for a couple seconds. See, this is easier when you make videos because I can just edit stuff out, right? Yeah. Okay. So, let's make sure we do it in the right order. They're all off. They all go to nav. Just 2 right clicks. Let them sit for a second on nav, and then they all go to align. 1 left click. There we go. Now, see how all my views are off all of a sudden? Go to the index page, ident, position initialization, nothing. Crickets. Crickets, crickets, crickets. Killing me here. Alright. So, let's put them all to nav now, because sometimes this makes it kick in. I don't know why, but it does. See? Look at that. Does that make any sense to anybody? You should have to put this in while it's in align mode so that it can align, right? Anyway, there it is. So, it should align in about 90 seconds. Yep. Well, 2 minutes it says. So, there we go. Time to align, 2 minutes. Oh, by the way, that wasn't showing up. That's how I knew it wasn't aligning, in case anybody's wondering. Moving on. Let's see here. Fuel pumps all need to be off. They are. Fuel cross feeds. It says to have them all on, and we are going to need them today. So that one needs to go on. That one needs to go on, and then it's these 2 here, right? Oh, that one's already on, and that one's already on. So we're good to go on all the fuel cross feeds. Good times. Notice how all the pumps are on all of a sudden. They were off before. They turned themselves on. I don't know how that works. Nacelle anti-ice goes off. Wing anti-ice is off. Window heat needs to be enabled. Little hiccup for you there. That's those two there. Yaw dampers need to go on. See, it does this little bounce around thing sometimes. And then APU switch start. So now we got to fire it up. Right click it twice, and she starts spinning up. Yeah, Easy says, welcome to FSX. Yeah, you ain't kidding, buddy. Alright, while that's spinning up, let's take a minute. Anybody got anything they just want to chat about, or just say hi, or what? I know Cruz said hello. Black Supper, we were making fun of his name. Let's see. I don't think you missed any coughs, Cruz, but it's hard to say. You know, you're supposed to be the guy that keeps track of those things, right? You're supposed to be keeping a running tally on how many coughs. This is going to be a seriously difficult takeoff, by the way, guys, because when we look at, you know what, I need to pop this up over here. I'm popping up my intranet over here, and I need to close that, close that, and totally random, so I just happen to have this page open. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Let me just ask you guys. Aerosoft says September 21st. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. No. Never mind. Somebody told me Aerosoft's releasing that CRJ soon. And then they pointed to the page and it said September 21st. And you know what? I didn't really pay attention. It says September 21st, 2017. That's still the hold date they had on it, I think. So, anybody think Aerosoft's actually going to release that thing in the next month or so? I'm thinking no. That's just my opinion. Okay, I'm getting logged into my charts cloud over here. Easy just laughs. Okay, don't mind the view bouncing around. KSFB. Alright, let's start by pulling up the ground chart here for you. And I'm not even going to download that. I know, thank you. Alright, ground chart. Here we go. Okay, so we're over here on the southeast ramp. Wind is 310 at 4, right? Which means we're going to be taking 27 right. Okay, 310 is up over here, right? So 27 right is going to be our runway, which means we're going to have a hefty crosswind and a relatively short runway for takeoff. I mean, it's only 3,353 meters. I don't actually know if that's enough runway for a fully loaded 747, but what I do know is we're going to find out. So, let's see. It's going to be, hey, they finally updated this thing. It's going to be the Sanford 6. This thing's going to pop up every time I do one of these guys. So, this is going to be our departure today. Normally, I brief this when we get ready to taxi out, but we'll brief it right now. That's fine. So, Orlando is supposed to be our first waypoint, which is this guy over here, right? But if we're taking runway 27, we're heading out this way. It doesn't make a lot of sense to circle back here, because our waypoint after that is GNV, Golf November Bravo. Is that right? No, Golf November Victor. And I'm just looking on here. That's why I'm tilting my head here, because they're all sideways. And I don't see GNV on here. So it's none of these, but I know that it's the opposite direction of this. So we're going to probably preclude or exclude ORL from there, and then just head straight out. So you can see it's vectors. So our vectors are going to be climbed straight out until we make sure that the aircraft isn't going to nosedive into the ground. Once we've verified that, then we're going to start to turn on course, and off we go from there. Any questions about the departure? Anybody confused about how that's going to work today? It's pretty straightforward, right? It's not that difficult. Hey, look, we're outside the airplane again. Alignment's done, by the way. So let's move on. APU's up and running. So let's hop up here and let's make sure we get our APU generators on. There we go. And let's hop down here, and I'm just going to pop this up. I'm tired of that. That view is supposed to be right there, and I have no idea why it's not working right. Let's go ahead and get rid of our ground connection here. Ground power can be disconnected now. Good to go. Return. We'll just go like this. And this is supposed to go on the progress page. There we go. Okay. So APU's running now. We're good on that. Passenger temperature and flight deck temperature both need to go to auto. See, that one's not lining up right either. That's these two right here. Trim air, upper, lower recirc, and gasper. All these here go on. And let's turn on the aft cargo heat as well. Left and right isolation switches go to normal. And APU bleed comes on. And then, even though it's not on this part of the checklist, we're going to have to turn these on when we start the engines, and I always forget, so those are coming on as well. And let's turn on all the packs for now. Now, when we get ready to do our startup, these 2 packs will have to go off. And now we finished setting up the FMC. So, back over here to route real quick. When you loaded the fuel and payload, the aircraft shifted slightly. Yeah, it's supposed to. Oh, you mean it like rolled or something? Is that what you're saying? Let's see. Did it move? Doesn't look like it moved. Makes your views shift a bit. Alrighty. Where was I? Oh yeah, FMC, not overhead. That's really annoying that I have to keep moving that. Okay, so we've got that set up here. We know we're going to be using runway. What did we say? Was it 27 left or right? I forgot now. Little thing's going to pop up to download again, by the way. Every time I change that chart, it's going to pop that little thing up. That's kind of obnoxious, isn't it? I should have this thing just saved somewhere. 27 right. That's alright, though. So let's go ahead and put that in there. 27 right. Runway. Execute. Now let's go to our takeoff page. We're going to need to do flaps 20 on this one because we're going to need all the lift we can get. Now it says our V2 is 149. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, that's not that high of a V2. Yeah, well, sure, it's not. It's partly because we're using flaps 20, but keep in mind also that it's going to take us some effort to get to that speed. So center of gravity, trim 4.8. This was the issue I had in my last flight. This thing wasn't working right. It's actually pretty much on. Did it set the trim automatically? I think it maybe did. Alright, so we're good there. Thrust limits, we're going to need everything we can get. In fact, that's minus 10%. Can't we, if we put this one on here, takeoff N1, can we do that? Nope, that's just telling us what it is. There's supposed to be a way to, oh, you're talking about why my cockpit views are off. Okay, I got you now. Comments on YouTube, that's going to have to wait. I need to just put my phone away, or I'll just, every time it makes noise, I'll go after it. And there's supposed to be a way to increase beyond, beyond takeoff 1. I think there is, but I don't know what it is. So, alright, so we're good there. Let's go to departure. KSFB 6. That's the one we're taking, right? My brain just went completely blank here. Yeah, SFB 6. Or Sanford 6. Okay, so that's our SID. And we're taking 27 right. There she is. No transition. Execute that. Yeah, I forgot it's going to delete takeoff speeds. Runway not applicable for SID. Okay. Well, it's not going to let me delete it, right? I don't know why it deleted takeoff speeds when they're the same. Thrust limit's the same. Takeoff's the same. So let's go to our legs page. So you see it's got us as vectors. I don't know why that's a problem, but we're not going to do Orlando. We're going to go straight to GNV. So just highlight that, put it in the boxes there, execute it, and then we're good to go. Now we could type in what our vectors are supposed to be, which if I look on here, our vectors are supposed to be 275 degrees. I don't know if it lets you actually do that. Let's try it. I've never tried that before. 275? Nope, not in database. Okay. Not a problem there. Make sure there's no other discontinuities. I haven't even looked at the arrival yet, but we should have just enough time in the air to figure out our arrival. Okay, what's next? Let's see. Verify, verify, verify. Those are all verified. That's set, that's set. We don't need IFR clearance. We do need to set the squawk code. I had to write that on the checklist because I always forget to set the squawk code. Okay. You guys are like quieter than I am today. There's like almost no chats going on or anything over here. Hey, Sergeant Cruel, how are you, buddy? Good to have you aboard. We'll set that to RTO while we're here. Put both of those on. Flight deck door's already locked. We'll get to that here in a minute. Okay, set the altimeter. So, what did we say? 3006. I'll pop this up so you guys can see it. It was already set, wasn't it? Come on. I'm having a hard time finding it. There we go. And it's set on this side already as well. Okay, so we're good on that. Flight director can come on at this point, both sides. Flight director is on. We're supposed to set V2 in the autopilot. That's in the indicated airspeed. 149. It would help if I'd stop at 149, wouldn't it? LNAV, VNAV can be armed at this point. Those are both armed now. And first altitude set, we don't have any altitude restrictions, so we're going to take it right on up. Come on. 300. For some reason, it seems like a quiet live stream. Am I usually more animated, or are you guys just not chatting that much? Okay, 300 set. Autopilot disengage bar needs to be up. That's this guy, and it is. If it was down, it would look like that. So there we go. Fuel control switches on the throttle quadrant. Those can all... it says they need to be in cutoff. So they're in cutoff. We're good to go. Trim settings, check. We've done that already. Auto brake is already to RTO. TCAS switch, test. Left click it once, and it starts the test.
TCAS system test OK.
Sweet. Let's test the weather radar as well. The weather radar does work on this. Let's see if it's testing it or not. I don't see it doing anything. Maybe it doesn't actually do anything. Okay. Put it on weather and turbulence. That's where I had it at. And then it's going to have to be tilted up. And let's hop over here so you can see a little better. And then you got to turn it on up here too. So we click on weather. See? It works. Okay, that's legit weather. With it tilted up, obviously the clouds are above us. If we tilt it back down, we might see a little bit. Let's see. Okay, and then if we tilt it towards the ground, it should go away, right? Well, no, actually it should continue to reflect because it's going to reflect off the ground. So my attempt at showing you that it works was fruitless. Anyway, we're going to have it tilted up at 4 for now. That's going to be fine for me. Hope that works for you guys. 26 center isn't that hot. Should make TRT no problem. Yeah. We're gonna see. We got the max 0 fuel weight going on here, Sergeant Cruel. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can get her done. Anyway, probably shouldn't have the weather radar on right now, but I don't actually know where you turn it off at. I mean, we could turn it back to test, I guess, but because this is not the button that turns it on. This is just the button that puts it on the screen. But anyway, let's move on. TCAS biasing mode above. So here's one for you. There's supposed to be a switch right here that says above and below for TCAS biasing mode, right? So why is it not there? I'm confused by that. And I didn't see it anywhere else. Do you guys, am I missing something, guys? Where's the above below switch? Or did they just somehow manage to forget to model like that one thing? You guys let me know. I'm going to move on with the checklist. No smoking, seatbelt signs are both on. What is on my microphone? I can like see it out of the corner of my eye. Flight deck door is locked. Traffic button on the IFIS. That's, where's traffic? Oh wait, it's the one in the middle there. Man, my brain is just not there right now, guys. Bear with me. Okay. Open overhead panel and ICUS panel. Press and check fuel. Why would you open the overhead panel? You open this guy. Should be this one. And we press fuel. And there we go. 54.4, which is where we should be. So I don't know why it tells you to open the overhead panel. Anyway, fuel pumps, are they all on now? Oh, I know why it wants you to do that. I'll tell you why. It wants you to, let's see if I can pop, ooh, look at that. That was slick, wasn't it? So, you're supposed to make sure the fuel pumps are on where there's fuel. So main 1, those are on, main 2, main 3, and main 4. We wouldn't want to have the stab pumps on because there's nothing in the stab. We wouldn't want the center pumps on because there's nothing in the center. I think that's why it wants you to pop up the overhead panel. Alright, moving on. Fuel cross feeds. Cross feeds are already taken care of, but I don't think we're going to actually need them, are we? Because we're not full on fuel, we're full on everything else. So, yeah, I don't think, well, why doesn't my brain want to function? Let's recall. Let's see if it shows up on yours. No. They're good as they are then. So when I look at this, so the cross feeds are coming, I guess the cross feeds are, why would we need cross feeds on? Cross feeds are for these tanks, right? I don't think we need them on, guys. Turn them off. Oh, no, I get it. Cross feeds are so that the fuel can feed between the two. So that's why they're on right now. And then if as these empty, these should flow first. So as these empty, then the cross feeds will come off, and then it'll just feed from main tanks 2 and 3. Making sense to everybody? Yeah, I know it's there on the PMDG, Pat. Hola, Robert. We're going to stick with Robert. I'm not going to try and figure out what the rest of that screen name's supposed to be. Okay, so I think we got the cross feeds issue figured out, so let's just leave them as they are now. Okay, so we're ready for the engine startup. We don't need to push back because we're going to taxi straight ahead. I think I left it up on here. Alright, so again, we're right here. We got to go to 27 right. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up here and we're going to try and catch Kilo 1 and take this all the way down until we cross over. That's actually a runway. That's 27 center, isn't it? Let's see. I guess what we'll do is we'll come up here to Bravo then. We'll come up to Bravo, take Bravo all the way down here to hold short of 27 right. Yeah, cross feeds to make sure the center of gravity stays good, but they're cross feeding from the outer main tanks to the inner main tanks, which are in line with each other on the center of gravity. They're not forward or backwards of each other. So I don't think we need them, or I think we need them on just for that reason. Am I making sense there, Cruel? Well, now see, it's telling me fuel tank engines. So it's that's the warning for the cross feeds there. So we don't need them. Watch, I turn them off, and the warning's gone. We don't need them right now. We don't need cross feeds. Okay, so we're good on that. So we're ready to start the engines. Now, let's see here. Gangway, we don't need to worry about that. Doors closed. We can double check, make sure all the doors are closed by clicking on the doors page. They're all closed, so we're good on that. Let's see. We don't need to request clearance. Beacon light needs to come on, and it was already on both, wasn't it? Nope, now it's on both. Okay. Hydraulic demand pump switches 1 through 3 are on auto. That's these 3 here. 1, 2, 3, and then number 4 stays on auxiliary, which it is. Pack 1 is on, and then 2 and 3 are off. Not to A, off. Is this view alright for you guys? It's probably better if I do it this way, right? Engine bleed air switches, this is where you would turn them all on. They're all on there. Open the engines page and clear any messages on the ICUS. That's not where we need to be. We need to be down here. Oh, there's another hiccup for you. Not a lot of cost, but plenty of hiccups, right? Okay. We're not pushing back, so park and brake can stay on. Now we're going to do an auto start. So what we need to do is we come up here, click auto start and continuous ignition. And we hop back down here. This is where Easy Dock really comes in handy. We need to turn all 4 of the fuel control switches on. And then we're going to start with engines 1 and 4. So we come up here, and they're a lot higher than you think when you do it from this view. So 1 and 4, we just click them on. And just like that, they should start spinning right up. And there you go. So you can see the N2s coming up already rather quickly. Alright, and pretty soon you'll see the N1s starting to come up. I thought we cleared all those out already. Continuous ignition on. Those aren't warnings, those are just announcements, advisements. Warnings are in yellow or red. So there we go. We need to zoom this out a little bit. Give us a better understanding of the weather out there. So we're taking off right into this crud. Fully loaded and taking off right into the crap. Good times. No, no, no. Oh, TCAS is still off? Okay. My bad. All the way over to TARA. There's no tilt option, so we're stuck with what we got. And engines 1 and 4 are stabilizing. Okay, what do we got here? I was looking to see if there's any comments, any questions, anything like that. Okay, we're stabilized on those two, so we can go straight to 2 and 3. That's awesome to have the working weather radar, isn't it? Now I know like PMDG Trip 7 it works, but isn't there something you got to do with that? With the PMDG Trip 7, you have to take copy the weather information from a certain page on Active Sky Next, and then you have to paste it somewhere in order for it to read the weather, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. That being said, obviously you don't have to do that here. You can clearly see for yourself the weather radar is working just fine. So that's how it should be, in my opinion. There's absolutely no reason we should have to do like a lot of extra work. I mean, they clearly can build it in, and it's not hard on the frame rates or anything like that. I mean, we're getting, you know, got a couple drops in there, but mostly we're getting around 25 to 27 frames a second, which, you know, maybe isn't the best in the world, but it's certainly not the worst either. So, okay, stabilized there. Let's go ahead and finish our after start checklist now. We can turn the APU off. So APU off, APU bleed air off. Packs all go to normal. There we go. Hydraulic demand pump switch 4 goes to auto. There it is. Engine and wing anti-ice on under 10 degrees Celsius. Now, it's definitely plenty warm out. It's 26 degrees Celsius. But with this much moisture in the air as we start to climb out, we're going to have to watch that temperature. If it starts to drop and it gets below 10, we're definitely going to want to make sure we turn the anti-ice on. Let's see what else. Main display, check for warnings. I didn't see any on there. Let's hit the recall button. Need a drink. Not that kind of drink, people. Okay. Main display's good. Taxi lights can come on. There they are. Strobe lights don't come on until we're about ready to take off. Flaps, we need to set those all the way to flaps 20. That's 10. There's 20. And you can do a flaps 20 takeoff on this thing. So, and that would complete our pushback, or in our case, just our startup. We don't need to request taxi clearance. We've noted the taxiways. We're going to go straight ahead here. It's not this guy right here. There's nothing there. It's actually up here. So we're going to pull up. We're going to hit Bravo and take that all the way down. Flight control is free and correct. And let's see, which page is it on? Status, right? Yep. So full left, full right, and neutral. Full up, full down. I don't really have to lean into it. Neutral, and then rudder, full left, full right, and neutral. Fantastic. Put that back on the engine page for now. Shrink it down, and I need to put on my Track IR hat and fire up Track IR. Alright, Track IR is working. So you guys are saying you don't have to do anything with the Trip 7 in order to get the weather radar to work, huh? Well, learn something new every day then. Okay, I think we got everything ready to go here. We can start, oh, if I can get my chair to move just a little bit here. There we go. Because my fat butt's pressing it into the floor here. Okay, so, before we taxi out, anybody got any questions about what we're doing here? Just want to make sure. Can everybody still hear me all right? I'm going to turn the volume up a little on the sim so that I can hear that. I'm going to assume you guys are okay hearing me right now. Again, I don't know how far behind the lag is, so I guess we're going to see, but it should be pretty quick. Alright, I think we got everything set, so let's go ahead and turn the Track IR back on here. There we go. Release the parking brakes. And we're probably going to need some juice to get this thing going, huh? Nope, it's starting to roll on its own already. That's crazy. It's that stinking heavy, and it just starts rolling. Let me move that seat back too, just so it doesn't look... No, the seat back. There we go. So So obviously I have to have the seat way back here to be able to see. Now the proper view would actually be, if you were sitting in the aircraft, you'd be about like this here, okay? But you can literally just move your eyes and you'd be able to see all that, so that makes sense. But unfortunately for our simulation world, we got to have that thing pulled back a little way so we can actually see what's going on. So okay, what else we got? I think that's it for the moment. What's our ground speed? Boy, we're doing 11 knots across the ground, and I don't even have any throttle in there. I'm surprised the airplane moved that easily. That actually seems like a bit of a glitch to me. I don't think it should move that easily when you've got this much weight on the aircraft. I don't know. What do you guys think? Wow, can you hear the thunder? Can you guys hear the thunder from active sky? I'm gonna turn that up a little. Sounds fantastic. I love the sound of thunder, and they did a pretty good job with it on here too. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move out here just a little wide. I'll take this turn nice and slow here. Ooh, some lightning over there too. Fantastic. All right, I'm trying to get my spirits up. It's not that I'm down or bored or anything like that, but I don't know. It just, something about today seems like kind of a quiet day. You know, you guys are all kind of quiet on here, and I don't know. We need to be having some fun here, folks. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little out of sorts today. Maybe that's what it is. A little out of sorts. I was starting to edit the next Life of Virtual Airline pilot video this morning, and somebody had asked me, they said, hey, can you do me a favor, and when you're doing the briefings with the charts, can you zoom into the part you're talking about? And you know, I wrote him back. I think he sent me a PM. I wrote him back. I said, you know, I'll take a look at it, but you know, there's a lot more involved in that than you think. So I went ahead and I tried it this morning. The thing is those briefs are pretty quick. We don't spend a lot of time on them. So to zoom into the areas, you know, one, it's a bit of a pain in the butt to set it up. A little hiccup there, sorry. It's a little bit of a pain to set it up. It's not ridiculously difficult, but to do it for just two of them added, you know, 20 minutes to the edit time process, or the edit process time. Anyway, and I ended up removing them because, you know, the first one was on, what was it? It was on a taxi brief. It was on a taxi brief. So the entire taxi brief was, you know, a whopping minute long maybe. And so it zoomed in and out like, it looked like this. I mean, it was just, you know, the amount of time that it would zoom in before it had to zoom back out was so short that it was ridiculous. It's not going to work. And so then I tried to put the airplane thing in there again, like I used to do, where the airplane follows the route that I'm talking about or whatever. But that was a pain in the butt. You know, I can get it to work, but it's really hard to get it to look smooth. You know, it'll move and then like slide to the side and then slide back, because it's very hard to get it just right. You know, as far as it's called keyframing, and you have to set, you know, the position, the rotation, and a couple other things, and you have to set them at every single keyframe. So what happens is if I want it to go from, say, here to over here, but it's got to go up around this corner, so I set this one first and I set this one, and then you try to set the ones in between to make it smooth, but you've got to move it by you know, with your mouse. You got to click and drag it to where it needs to be. Let's make sure we're not going to get hit by an airplane here. I don't see anybody coming. And it's actually, you know, it's very hard to get it precise, right? It's very hard to get it precise, and so what ends up happening is it kind of slides as it moves around, and it looks like crap. That's why I stopped doing it, and that takes a lot of time too. I mean, just doing that's 30 minutes. You know, that takes some time. So as it stands right now, standard edit time for a video is almost 3 hours. About 3 hours it takes me to edit a video, and that's not too bad actually. I think the way that I edit the videos comes out pretty good, you know, with the charts and with the checklists and all that stuff in there. So I don't think that's too bad. You know, but it's a lot of work, and so trying to add other things in there. It's not that I don't want to put things like that in there, but they definitely expand the editing process substantially, and with that, not all of them come out that great. So there you have it. So whoever asked for that, if you happen to be watching the live stream, there's your answer. It's a rainy, gloomy day. This beats the Olympics. Now that's a compliment right there. This beats the Olympics. Yeah, that's I'm flattered by that. Thank you. That's a really nice thing to say, actually. The Olympics are pretty cool, but to know that you'd rather be watching me mumble and bumble my way through a flight, that's very flattering. So thank you very much. Engine. What engine? Oh, real world versus sim. When I taught English. Wait, what? When I taught English, run the jet would move whenever I released brakes. Okay, so you're going to have to correct more than just the word engine on that. Because it says when you taught English. When you taught engine? Flying to Inverness? Where's Inverness at? Oh, you guys remember when I did that Q400 cold and dark startup tutorial? You remember how stuffy I was? Like you could really hear it in my voice? Well, guess what? It's coming. I can feel it in the back of my throat right now. I always get the same feeling before I get really, really stuffy and nasty. It's like this sort of dry, sore feeling in the right at the back of my nasal passages. I'm sure you really want to hear about that on the live stream, right? And when I start to feel that, come tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be miserable. That's what's gonna happen, folks. I'm gonna be miserable. Okay, so we're going to have to stop at a bit of an angle here, because so the way it works in the U.S., and I imagine it's probably the same in Europe and other places of the world, you're supposed to stop where you can still see the hold short line. And so technically, I mean, this is our normal view, so we want to stop where we can see it from here. So let's go ahead and put the park and brake on here. There it is. And then let me turn track IR off so that you don't get dizzy. Okay, so let's see here. Real world, what real world versus sim? When I taught English, run the jet would move whenever I released the brakes. Yeah, I'm still confused. So I understand the engine would move the jet whenever you release the brakes. It shouldn't though. No, I'm not on VATSIM, Brandon. Somebody asked that question at the beginning too, and I'm not doing VATSIM. I'm not doing it right now, and I probably won't any time in the near future. I've explained a few times why, but let me go over it again just real quick so that you guys understand. A couple of issues. First of all, actually a lot of issues, but I'm not going to list all of them. First of all, anytime I've ever flown on VATSIM, it doesn't matter where I fly. When I've got a planned flight, there's never a controller where I'm flying. That annoys me. Okay, now I understand you can go on there and look and see where there are controllers and then pick your flights, but that's not how I pick my flights. In fact, most of my flights I don't even pick anymore. You guys pick them. So there's problem number one. Problem number two, some of the controllers are fantastic, but some of them not so great. Okay, some of them do not speak English very well, so the few times that I've dealt with controllers, I couldn't even understand what they were saying, so I'm trying to do voice communication, and what ends up happening, I have to do text communication with them. I don't like that. I don't want to do that. And lastly, for now, and this is probably the biggest reason, some YouTubers and streamers and stuff have been hit with copyright violations by IVAO and VATSIM for doing flights on VATSIM or IVAO using their ATC. I have no idea why, but they hit them with copyright violations. When you get hit with a copyright violation on YouTube, okay, it's guilty until proven innocent. What they do is they put your channel into bad standing. They limit your video upload times to 10 minutes. You can't upload anything more than a 10-minute video, and then you have to prove that the issue doesn't exist. I'm not dealing with that crap. So I'm hoping to find a good ATC program that will take care of our needs without having to worry about VATSIM or IVAO. So, okay. Oh, okay. When I taught engine... Okay, so when you taught engine operations for maintenance folks, I got you now. Now I'm tracking. Everybody tracking on what Cruel was saying there? Does that answer your question, Brandon? I hope it does, because that's the best answer I got for you. Okay, so we're at our hold point now. We would hand off from ground to tower. Again, you know, we've just dealt with ATC. We all understand where I'm coming from, I hope. Landing lights come on and strobe lights come on. And we don't really need the runway turn-off lights, so I'm not going to use them. Transponder is already on, so we're good there. And then we can taxi into position and hold. And we're going to have to do a what do you call it? Come on, brain function. We're going to go from a stopped position, run the engines up, and then hit the toga and release the brakes, or release the brakes and then hit the toga mode. So, oh, I can feel it coming on, boys. This is gonna suck. Oh, all right. The yellow chevrons there, guys, you cannot taxi on those. You can't do anything on those. Okay, those are just there for jet blast. Alright, nice and slow here. Bringing up the right two engines for a little asymmetric thrust. Let's get past the center line so we can make a nice sharp turn here. And get it as close to lined up as we can on the first try. Come on around, baby. So, turning a big airliner like this really tight is actually much easier in the real world from what I've seen. And I've talked to a few real world pilots I know that fly for airlines and whatnot. We cut that turn just a little too tight, but we're going to have to deal with it. We'll center up as we start to pull out. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to chew up any runway trying to center up the aircraft. So I'm going to leave it pointed. I know it's pointed just a little bit to the right here. You know what I forgot to do, guys? Let me ask a question real quick before we take off. And so I know there's a delay, so it's going to take a minute. But let me ask you guys anyway. And while you guys are getting ready to answer, I'll make sure I've got everything ready to go for takeoff here. So the last flight I did, we flew into Innsbruck in the 757, and it was absolutely insane. And if you caught that, either the live stream or the follow-on video, you know what I'm talking about. So my question is, for that one, because the landing was so crazy, I went ahead and I always do a little bit of editing on the front and the back of the videos. I put my watermark on there and all that stuff. That's pretty much all I do. But in that one, I went ahead and created the landing cinematic, and I think I did a takeoff cinematic too. I don't remember, but I haven't started FS Recorder on this flight. Do you guys want me to start FS Recorder so that we can do a takeoff cinematic and a landing cinematic, and I can edit those into the video that gets uploaded to YouTube from this live stream? You guys answer that, and I'm going to look at the checklist. Alright, so ready for takeoff. Park and brake needs to be set. There it is. Auto throttle comes on. She is on. Autopilot settings, check them. 30,000, 149. We're going to get above that as quick as we can because we're really heavy. And then it'll be thrust levers forward. When we hit 70% N1, that's when we'll release the parking brake and then hit the toga button. And we're supposed to press forward on the yoke until we hit 80 knots. I always forget to do that, but I'm going to try and remember. And then V1, VR, and V2. So that's the takeoff procedure. And I don't see any answers on that yet. You like the outside views. Yes, I know you do, Pat. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start it. FS Recorder, record. I usually am pretty good about remembering to start it anyway, and I just, for whatever reason, have forgotten the last few times. And it's when I'm doing a video for YouTube, it's a real pain in the butt, because if I forget to start it, then I have to go back and I have to do the takeoff and the landing again. Maybe not the whole flight, but the takeoff and the landing again, just to get the FS Recorder done so that I can make those little cinematics. That's up to your artistic stamp. Thanks, Cruel. Appreciate it. Okay, so park and brake is on. Okay. You know what? There's one more thing we need to check before we do this. We need to go route, takeoff. We need to check trim. There's no way it's still 4.8 because we did that before we loaded it down, right? I don't think it's enough trim. What do you guys think? I don't think it's enough. I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit. I'm gonna bring it up to 5, but I don't know. I don't think 4.8 is enough trim, guys. I really don't. But we're gonna find out, aren't we? Alright, let's watch that N1. Let's get it up above 70% here. Should be right around in there, give or take just a little bit. Remember that wind's coming off our right side. There's 60, a little bit more. Coming up on 70. They're not even. Release and toga. Alright, we're looking for 149. Center her up. Oh, she's accelerating pretty good, actually. I was expecting it to struggle. Oh, we're going to get there no problem. This thing's heavy. I don't understand how it's... Wow.
Rotate.
Rotate. That was a little ridiculous, to be honest with you. I was expecting to use a lot of that runway to get the speed up. Okay, positive rate of climb gears coming up. We're on vectors for now, so we'll continue on out. We can go ahead and bring out one setting of flaps. She's going to climb like a missile. I think the weight's wrong. I don't think it's actually... Because, look, it wants me to go all the way up to... You know, it wants my nose to come up to 30 degrees. That's not going to happen. I can tell you that. Let's take it to flaps 5. Let's turn the weather off for a minute. We got a big hole in front of us here anyway, which is not showing up on the radar, actually. So the radar is apparently not working quite right. Turn it off. Okay. And it's off to our right. Okay, now we can bring weather radar back on. Put it 10 nautical miles out. Looking pretty good right now. See, it wants us to continue straight ahead on vectors, which it shouldn't. Don't nosedive on me. Put that there where the vectors are. I really hate that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Execute. Okay. That's still not making sense. Why is that not working right? Well, flight director don't like it. Getting a little slow there. Definitely bouncy. You know what? I think it's because we've got turbulence and weather on. Let's just turn it to weather and see if that makes a difference, huh? There's no way that weight's proper on this. There's absolutely no way. Okay, that's just getting annoying right now. It's not helping us with anything. I don't think it's correct. Our speed's too low. Alright, let's let the aircraft take over. There we go. Hands off. LNAV, VNAV. It's not being choppy, that's just my head moving around, or the aircraft moving around my head, whatever. Just going to turn track IR off for the moment. I'm a little disappointed with that. Actually, I'm extremely disappointed with that. That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I agree, they're really strong engines, Cruel, but yeah, no, that doesn't add up, man. This thing, that was supposed to be literally max 0 fuel weight. And then, so obviously we put it to max takeoff weight. It should not have hit 140 knots. I mean, we used what? 2,000 feet of runway maybe? Nah, I'm not buying it, man. This thing's supposed to be weighted down. And that did not seem like a weighted down aircraft to me. And I have to say, I'm not overly, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at ahead of us, right? But it doesn't seem like it's all that accurate. Let's bring the tilt down just a little bit. Bring it down to 2. Yeah, it works, but it's questionable how accurate that is. You know, I mean, is that supposed to be this little gap right here? Maybe I just don't know how to read it. Maybe that's what it is, you know? Okay, let's take care of this after takeoff checklist. I gotta switch pages here. /climb checklist. The flaps should have already come all the way up, but I was too busy bumping my gums, so I wasn't paying attention. And landing lights should be off because we're above 10,000. You see what happens when I start talking too much? My bad. Okay, landing and taxi lights are off. Autopilot, altitude, and speed, those are set. We're going to leave those where they're at for now. FMC's running the speed here. We don't need a handoff to approach control. Engine and wing anti-ice if it's under 10 degrees Celsius. We're still at plus 16, and it looks like we're starting to get close to being above the bulk of the moisture, so I think we're going to be all right there. Altimeter, once we get above 18,000, which will be pretty quick here since this thing's climbing so fast, that'll go to 29 or 9 or 2. Continuous ignition can go off. Which one's that? Yeah, there we go. Flaps are just about all the way up. Now, somebody said you click here to turn it off? Okay. I was having a hard time in my last video on that one, wasn't I? And that is it for the climb checklist. So, up and away we go. Again, not entirely certain about the weather radar here. I mean, there is a gap there, but we're not really headed towards it, right? So, not sure how accurate that is. But, let's see. What do we got over here? I like seat of the pants. Taught an instrument and control guy, and he had me chasing computer ghosts all around the pattern. Radar is reflecting ice and water, so what you see. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Easy. The radar doesn't reflect the clouds themselves. It reflects moisture in the air, so it could just be that. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. What we're seeing on here doesn't represent the clouds per se, but what moisture is in the air. So maybe it's pretty accurate. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool to have it. We knew we were taking off into some stormy weather. What I do like here, let me hop outside, and this might get a little loud. Let me turn. Well, it's not going to turn down for you. Let me hop outside here. One of the things I do like here is the towering cumulus clouds. Right? So these towering clouds, you certainly don't get those with default FSX. Rex Soft Clouds did a pretty good job with them. I did not put Rex Soft Clouds with these. I like the Active Sky Cloud art. So, okay, we're above 18,000. Click for standard. And you got to do it on both sides on this one, which is kind of cool actually. It's a bit of a pain, but it's kind of cool. Let's see. We got no traffic on here because the weather radar is on. There we go. Okay, this guy's over here climbing. He's just a little bit below us. I don't think we'll be able to see him. Certainly not through the clouds. And he's over there a little ways too. This is, that's what, about 5 nautical miles over there. So he'd be pretty hard to see anyway. And we should be on course here. Zoom that way out. Yep, looking pretty good. I just want to make sure we're tracking the way we should be. We've already taken care of our climb checklist. So, rest in peace, speakers. Tell me I didn't blow out your speakers, man. That would suck. I told you it was going to get loud. Alright, what do we got next here? We need to, even though it's, 500 something nautical miles, 619 is our actual flight plan distance. Let's start looking at our arrival procedures. So in order to do that, we need to pop this guy up. I know it got quiet over there. That happens. And the view's probably going to change too. No, view won't change. You'll see the little pop-up box over here. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, so the flight plan... Shrink that back down for a minute. Flight plan gave us LUGO2, L-U-G-O-H-2. So let's see if LUGO2 even exists. There it is, LUGO2. You'll see the little download dialog here in a second. I don't know why it won't let me have that pop up over here, then it wouldn't be so annoying, right? Okay, LUGO2, here we go. So we're coming from Victor Uniform Zulu to LUGO2. Okay, so Victor Uniform Zulu is 114 nautical miles from this point right here. Okay, and so we're going to be flying down this guy right here to probably Hob. I don't know. We'll see what waypoints. It should have HAB. It should have Erase in there. It should have Cram and then Lugo, and then it's a question of where are we going from there based on the weather. So we can do an outlook. If we pop up active sky here and we say KMEM, and we're looking at what, a little over an hour flight time. Let's take a look here. It's 1903, and we're looking at an arrival time of 2000, so just over an hour. So if we move this out by an hour, this is our predicted weather an hour from now. So it's predicting surface winds of 200 degrees at 8 knots with 10 statute miles visibility, no precipitation, and a 299.5 on the pressure. So we should be able to plan our arrival based on that. We should be able to. Notice I said should. We're going to try it. So 200, because an hour is not that long. The weather can change really fast, but in general it doesn't typically change that fast. I'm still really disappointed about the weight issue on this. That actually really bothers me. Look, it's going to step climb to 38,000 feet. See that? You see that? I know this is up right now, but see, this just changed. The FMC changed it to 38,000 feet because I got auto step climbs on. Okay, so this aircraft is not weighed down, and that bothers me because it's supposed to be. You know, if we actually we should be able to see it in here, right? Let's go to initial. See, our gross weight, it says, is 581.3, which is higher than the max zero fuel weight. So that's not making sense. Does that make sense to anybody else? Oh, all right, Easy. Take care, buddy. Glad you were able to join me for a little bit, and have a good time of service, my friend. Is that making sense to anybody else on here? Everybody say bye to Easy, by the way. Our gross weight right now is 581,000 pounds, which is higher than our max zero fuel weight, and you saw it just changed to 580.9. Okay, so this is a running total, so it's higher than the max zero fuel weight, which means the max zero fuel weight that we have listed in PFPX is wrong. But even putting that aside, our gross weight is almost 600,000 pounds. How on God's green earth did this airplane take off in 2,000 feet, and how can it climb to 38,000? And don't tell me, Cruel, oh, it's got strong engines. I know it does, but still, that doesn't make any sense. Alright, I'm done ranting about it. I'll shut up. Anyway, we should be able to plan based on what we see on here. So, 299.5, and what we said the speed was, 8 knots. And let's take a look. So they've got let's pull this up, and this guy, another download thing popping up for you. Cancel. I know. All right. So I just pull up the ground chart, make it real simple and easy to look at which runways are available. So 200 degrees, we could go with 270. Okay, and that would give us a crosswind, something like that. But it looks to me like runway 18 left, center, or right is the right way to go. So here's what I'm going to do. If you guys look over here, you'll see, and we can get rid of that, and we'll need those up. So you can see all the choices here. We should fly an ILS because it's a big airplane and it's easier to fly an ILS. So you tell me you want to do 18 left, center, or right. You guys pick. I'll leave that to you. 18 left, center, or right. Left and right are shorter at 27.43 and 28.41 respectively, and then center is obviously really long. Strong engines, yeah. 1 million pounds gross vehicle weight. That's insane, man. That thing's crazy, huh? Okay, well, we're definitely above the weather now. You don't usually see a whole lot of weather at 38,000 feet. And we've got a bit of tailwind going on, so our ground speed's at 505 knots. We're cooking along pretty good here. So all we need to do is pick our runway. We already know what our arrival is going to be, so I'm going to put that in now because you can see we're going to be on top, even though it's pretty, well, there's a good distance there, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and put it in. So departure, arrival. We're just picking the arrival right now. And we said it was the Lugo 2 with a transition at VUZ. And then we'll pick our runway here in a little bit. So activate that, go to legs, VUZ to hob, erase, cram, just like I said. And then Lugo, and then mash, HLI, and so on. And then vectors from there. So we'll make sure that all those points after Lugo add up to being the proper way to go for our approach. We're going, what do we say? We're going 1.8 something. So let me pull it back up here. Another friggin' download dialog. There it is. Okay, so it's going down here to stacks, and then 1/8's this way. So yeah, from stacks vectors, that actually makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. So, and nobody's chose a runway, so I'm gonna choose a runway. How about that? So I'm gonna go with a shorter one. We're gonna go with 1/8 left. We don't want to download it. Thank you. So this is going to be our approach here, runway 1/8 left, ILS approach, and I'll leave this up on the side, I don't have to write it down. So we're going to come out, obviously we're coming from over here, so when we go on to vectors, we're going to just make a downwind here, and then we'll circle back and catch the initial approach fix at Reese, at or above 3,000, down to Ronnie, and then down to Bryson. And 2743 meters of runway, it's plenty of length, especially since the aircraft clearly isn't having any problems with performance. And what else we got here? Let's look at the missed approach procedure. Oh, that zooms right in, kind of cool. Missed approach, climb 178. Once you hit 900 feet, make a left turn to intercept the 151 degree radial outbound from MEM. Yep, outbound from MEM to Keezy, and climb to 5,000, and you can see what that looks like right there. Can you guys see that all right on there? Or do I need to zoom it in? Evergreen refuels, it was in kilos, and it's been 11 years. Yeah, kilos is a pain in the butt. Honestly, it wouldn't be a big deal if we just, if the U.S. just switched over to the metric system, then we'd all adjust to it. But for some reason, the U.S. wants to stay on the standard system, or empirical, I think they call it. Either way, so there's your approach briefing. I think that's pretty straightforward. So unless things change right before we get there, that's what we're going to be doing. So go back to departure arrival. We've already chosen, you can see it's already in there. So it's ILS 1/8 left. This guy right here. Execute. And go back to our legs page. So cram, Lugo should have vectors in there still after stacks. We do. And then it'll be to Reese. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to leave it like it is for now while I decide what I want to do. We can do it one of two ways. We can put Reese in there, and then it'll show us vectors on here straight to Reese. Or we can leave it as is, and we can turn it 360 degrees and just fly the downwind and use the heading mode to control the aircraft, and then swing it around. And then when we get to Reese, it's our initial approach fix. As long as we're at or above 3,000, we'll probably be right at 3,000. We can begin, let's see, that's 2,000. Yeah, if we just stay at 3,000 all the way to the descent point, we should just intercept the glide slope. So that's probably what I'm going to do, but it's an option. There we go. And that means there's like nothing else to do right now. We could do we have a cruise checklist? We do. Radio ATC contact, we don't need to do anything with that. Autopilot FMC, check regularly, obviously. And we don't need to do anything with cross feeds because we did that before we took off. So, I think the simulation rate is increased to like 4 right now. See how it's going really fast. That's a setting on here, but I don't think I think I had it set from before. I don't think you can do anything about it in here. Intelligent cruise. It's on. Let's turn it off. Will it go off now? No, I don't think it went off. That intelligent cruise feature, I had it on for some really long flights I did for national. way it works is, pull it back up here for you. So when it's turned on, which I turned it off, but it's not turning off. Probably won't turn off until we start to descend. I got it set to a max rate of 4 times acceleration. So right now we're at 4 times acceleration, which is not what I want actually. You're allowed to do that up to 8 times for, what do you call it? Let's put it max 1 and then turn it on and see if that slows it down. I don't think it's going to though. Pause before top descent is off. So with National, you're allowed to go up to a maximum of 8 times time acceleration. When you're in cruise though, and I use that on really long flights with them. So auto step climb obviously is on, but it's not gonna. You can see we're clearly going 4 times acceleration right now. That's why the clouds aren't filling in either. And I think the only way to do something about that, you know what, let's just do this. Let's take it up to 40,000. And that'll jump it out of it. And then because I've got it set, let me just turn it off now. Let's just turn it off. So it shouldn't go back into it once we get there. But the way it's bouncing like this, I swear it's still at 4 times speed, right? Okay, we're gonna have to do this a different way. Options, simulation rate, normal. There. Now we're at normal speed. We'll take it up to 40,000 feet. That's fine. Well, that was kind of obnoxious, wasn't it? Let's see. Empirical. Okay, whatever. You got my point. Have you seen the silly maintenance write-ups? Auto land rough during landing. Auto land not installed in this aircraft. Yeah, I got you. There was like a post of a bunch of those not too long ago, right? Okay. So how long we got now? It is 1929. Let's bring this back over to FMC. We're supposed to be there at 2022. So we got about an hour to go. What are we going to talk about for an hour, guys? It's kind of a long way to go, isn't it? What time is it anyway? How long have we been at this? Whew, we've been at it for an hour and a half already. Man, I guess I just talked too much, huh? Kaved, good evening. Oh, that's Kilo. Hey, Kilo, how are you, buddy? What's going on? Better late than never, yeah? Yeah, that's true. Of course, we're at 40,000 feet already, so you missed all the good stuff at the beginning. We'll let it slide this time, though. I might have to have a bathroom break on this flight. Goodness gracious. An hour to go. Maybe we should increase our cruise speed a little bit. Of course, then we'll probably run out of fuel. Still bothered by the whole weight thing. There's no way that's correct. That just doesn't add up to me. Either that or they just didn't simulate it properly with this aircraft. So, I don't know. I do know that configuration tool thing doesn't seem to always work properly. It's kind of... It worked fine. It looked like it worked fine for loading the weight and stuff, but... I don't know, man. That thing got in the air quick, didn't it? Catch up by watching the video, yep. You want me to talk about my favorite ice cream? That's easy, Rocky Road. End of conversation. Oh my goodness, fellas. We gotta kill an hour here. That's a lot of time to kill. Maybe we should do what real world pilots do. Okay, that's probably not going to work, is it? That's not very comfortable either. Oh, let's see here. I'm trying to think of what we can talk about here. Oh, that's the whole thing on a live stream, right? You're supposed to like talk the whole time and keep everybody entertained and yeah. So who? Now I know a few of the folks that are in here, but I don't. Well, there's 11 people in here, and there's no way we've heard from 11 people. So let's hear from everybody. Everybody say hi real quick. Here, I'll even say hi. Hi. There you go. I said hi too. We got to kill an hour here, guys. We got to kill an hour. So think of some questions. I know you guys have questions. So think of some questions you have, and let's go over some of those so that we can go to the back and watch movies. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's watch a movie. What movie should we watch? Hi again, Kilo. Is Pat still here? I haven't heard anything out of Pat in a while. Hey Jay, how are you? Great to have you aboard. From England, Mr. Cruz. What is that? 07? What is 07? Cruel, we're going to have to talk about your communication skills a little bit, brother. Okay? First, you're talking about teaching English when you're supposed to be talking about teaching people about engines, maintenance on engines. And now you write 07, which means nothing. What is that? San Antonio. Hi, San Antonio. How are you? England has aliens or predator on sky. Okay, again, we're going to have to talk about your communication skills, brother. From Holland. Fantastic. Somebody from Holland. That's good stuff. How are you, buddy? What do you got? Nahoot? Is that how you say it? Nahoot? Or is it just Nout? Or is it Hout? Or Hoot? Let's call you Hoot. Can we go with Hoot? Let's call you Hoot. I'll forget that. San Antonio, doing good. Fantastic. iPhone autocorrect. Sure. Blame it on the iPhone. Right. Yeah. I've heard that one before. Hoot is fine with 2 E's, which means it's fantastic. Good stuff. So, what are the questions, guys? This is the what do we call it? Chat with Mac time. We gotta come up with a name for like cruise, right? Sky equals Comcast or the equivalent satellite provider. Aliens or predator on sky. Yeah, I'm still confused. 11:30 p.m. 07 is 07 is a salute. Oh, it's supposed to be like. Okay, I got you. I think if you're gonna do that, you gotta do it like this. You gotta go. No, that's zeros. You gotta go like this, like that, and then really quick you gotta go. I don't even know if I can do it. No, you just gotta do it like that. See, 2 eyes. I still wouldn't have got it. I would have thought that was supposed to be 007 or something. Favorite event in the Olympics? Yeah. Oh, O is supposed to just be the head, huh? Gotcha. I've never seen that before. I've never ever seen that before. Favorite event in the Olympics? I don't know. I don't have cable TV actually. Oh, thanks, Hoot. Appreciate it, buddy. Let's start with you, San Antonio. What's your favorite event in the Olympics? Since you brought it up, you tell us so that we can all make fun of you. Yeah, I'm 40,000 feet, brother. What are you talking about? But we will be high on approach. We're always high on approach. That's a wave, huh? Yeah, you know, I gotta tell you, I just don't care. That's like too much stuff to remember. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's my age. Women's beach volleyball. That's your favorite Olympic sport? Come on. Come on. Now listen, I get where you're coming from. Don't misunderstand me. I get where you're coming from. But come on. Come on. Women's beach volleyball. Next thing you're going to be telling us what is it? What is that freaking Winter Olympics sport? It's like oh, I can't think of the name of it. They slide these stupid big round things on ice and use brooms to sweep ice away to slow them down or something like that. Curling. It's called curling. You're going to tell me curling's your favorite winter sport, right? Where can I purchase the iFly 747-400? My virus software will not let me use Flight 1. What? That doesn't even make sense. I've never heard of that before. It starts deleting. Okay, So here's what you need to do. All right. What is it? Kevin. Okay. So Kevin, obviously you got to turn it off for the download. You're supposed to do that anyway. All right. And I think there's even a big old thing that says, before you download, make sure you do A, B, C, and D. So if you just go into Google and type in, iFly 747 download procedure or something like that, you'll be sent to a forum thread that lists all these, do A, B, there's a hiccup there, A, B, C, and D before you start the download. So do that, and then here's what you need to do. Before you turn your virus protection back on, you need to go in there and you need to put an exception for Flight 1 products, or not for whatever Flight 1 files you have. So figure out what all it downloaded. So download it and install it from Flight 1, because Flight 1's the only place you can get it. Download it and install it, okay? And then once that's done, figure out where all those files are, in FSX and all of that stuff, and then go into your virus protection before turning it back on. Make sure you put an exception in there for those folders related to the iFly 747, and then when you turn your virus protection back on, it shouldn't delete those files anymore. Seriously, everybody said curling, but I already said curling. I already said it. You can't put hee-hee on there for a laugh, Jay. That you can't do that. It's got to be ha-ha. Hee-hee sounds like, I'm not even going to say it. It's got to be ha-ha. Kevin, did you get all that information? You understand where I'm coming from on that? Is that supposed to be I'll do that, or I do that as in you say hee-hee? Just asking, just checking. Bar sport. What's up? Curling is a pub event in the Olympics. No, it's not. What are you talking about? There you go. Haha. Fantastic. Yeah, try that, Kevin. If you have a problem now, what virus protection do you use? Okay, that's a that's okay. I can live with that, Cruel. Okay, while we're waiting for Kevin to tell us what virus protection he uses, let's go back and okay, so women's beach volleyball is nobody's favorite sport. It's not your favorite sport. It might be your favorite thing to watch, but it's not your favorite sport. Okay, so what's your favorite sport? Kevin, get rid of Norton and get something else. Norton sucks. Anybody else on here got Norton? My recommendation is something called Malware Bytes. All one word with a Y instead of an I. So Malware, B-Y-T-E-S. Okay, it's actually really cheap. It's like $30 a year or something like that. That's what I use. It's very easy to use and it works fantastic. I haven't had any problems with it. That's my suggestion. Norton's terrible. Norton is a virus. Norton antivirus is a virus in itself. I hate that stuff. Biathlon, cross-country skiing, which no. That's Winter Olympics. We're on Summer Olympics right now. Let's one thing at a time, Cruel. One thing at a time here. Focus. Favorite Summer Olympic sport? AVG rocks. Is that an antivirus? I've never heard of AVG. Okay, well there you go, Kevin. Maybe AVG. What does AVG cost, guys? Oh, it's free. Yeah, Malware Bytes is really good, Kevin. I like it. I haven't had any problems with it. Like I said, it's cheap. It's $26, $30 a year. I've never heard of AVG, but if AVG's good and it's free, give that a try. But I'd get rid of Norton, man. Norton is horrid. It is just absolutely terrible. And, you know, anybody who knows anything about computers hates Norton. I can promise you that. And if anybody wants to disagree, feel free to do so that I can block you. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't block you. Paid version of AVG, so there's a free version and a paid version. Okay, well with Malware Bytes, you know, there's not a free version, but there's like a free trial for 30 days or something, so again, Cruel, I get you, brother, I do, and I understand you like to watch it, but volleyball is not your favorite sport, so let's be honest here. Favorite actual Summer Olympics sport. Favorite actual Summer Olympics sport. I'm trying to think of what mine is. That's kind of a tough one. You know, I would have to say honestly that my favorite Summer Olympic sport is gymnastics. I like the gymnastics. And with the gymnastics, at least with the women's gymnastics, I get the best of what the volleyball has to offer and an awesome freaking sport. And let's be honest, people who compete in gymnastics are freaking tough. Those people are, that's crazy. I like that. I would have to say that my favorite Summer Olympic sport is the gymnastics. So that beats beach volleyball any day, crew. Just saying. Anybody else? Any other takers? Some of them are really young. That's true. That's true. Some of them are, but most of them are actually, 18 to 20. That's the usual age that they compete at. But some of them are young, yeah. But I'm not really scoping out the chicks so much as you think. But there's some good-looking girls on there. Not the 15-year-olds, mind you. Now I have my two oldest daughters are 16 and 17, so yeah, I'm not big on checking out teenagers. But most of the ones that compete are between 18 and I think 22 is the average competition age. But I'm not really scoping out the chicks. I think gymnastics is just pretty damn cool, to be honest with you. You get free Norton full package with your Comcast subscription. Okay, if you're getting it for free, I mean that's the only time you could call Norton tolerable is if you're not paying for it. I would make sure how long have you had it, because sometimes there's like the first year is free and then they charge you, and Norton's expensive. It's like 60 or 70 bucks a year. So if it doesn't expire, then I would just spend a little time learning how to work around Norton and learning how to put in exceptions and stuff so that it doesn't do things like delete your Flight 1 files. The reason it's deleting them is it thinks that they're a virus. Okay, it thinks that it's malware put onto your computer. And not all antivirus software will just go after like your Flight 1 files, but it's always a good idea to put exceptions in there when you start having those kind of problems. I had that I had the weirdest thing when I loaded when I bought, and this was a few years ago, when I bought the PMDG 777, no matter what I did, you know, when you load it in the aircraft, you couldn't see it. You couldn't do anything with it. You just had the view of the runway, and then when you tried to look at the external view of the aircraft, all you could see was the wings. And it was the stupidest thing. It turned out to be the time on my clock was like 10 seconds off from whatever time that was registered in the BIOS, and so it didn't install properly. It was ridiculous. Track and field's pretty cool. I like that stuff. Marathon is insane. 4 times faster and 10 times as far. Yep. Same problem here. Flight 1 wrapper that causes it. Yeah, you're right, San Antonio. It is so when you install any Flight 1 product, the way that they do it, it's sort of an online install thing. It's kind of weird, and so that's why you have to do the install first, and then make sure you put the exceptions in for all the files that were installed, so it doesn't consider them to be malware. I don't know if I'd say track and field is the human body at its best. I would still argue, Pat, that's gymnastics. I mean, the things that they're able to do in gymnastics is insane. That, in my opinion, is the human body being put to the ultimate test. You're welcome, Kevin. I hope that works out for you. Let us know. If you haven't done so, hop over to my YouTube channel, hit subscribe, and then jump in there and throw a comment. You'll see this video be uploaded in a few days, and you can jump in there and throw in a comment and let us know if you got it to work and whatnot, okay? And it's a good place to do that anyway, because there's a lot of guys on there that know a lot more about it than I do. So if this doesn't fix the problem, then put the comment in there, and just ask, hey, anybody on here got an answer? And somebody will come on there and comment and say, here's what you do, and they'll get you fixed. And if it persists, I would also recommend contacting Flight 1 and letting them know, hey, I went through all the steps, I did everything I was supposed to do, everything you said to do, and I still can't get your aircraft installed. And trust me, they'll try to help you out too. I had to actually have somebody from PMDG take control of my computer, remote, whatever they call it, to get that 777 issue fixed. So, good times. Get rid of Norton and get something else. Well, there you have it, Kevin. People just don't. Norton sucks. It's terrible. Absolutely horrid virus protection. I would still. Okay, glad you're a subscriber. Thank you, buddy. I would highly recommend the malware bytes. Like I said, I use that on all my computers, and I don't have any problems. I don't even download and install Windows updates anymore. I mean, they're going to stop supporting Windows 7 pretty soon anyway, but Malwarebytes stays updated, so I don't need Windows security protections and all that stuff. Malwarebytes stays on top of it. I install, like, some of their stuff, I'll download it and install it, but the point I'm getting at is Malwarebytes does a really good job. Norton, not so much. Norton really just makes everything obnoxious. So, that's Summer Olympics. Let's talk about Winter Olympics now. Now we can talk about Winter Olympics, Cruel. And you said it was the biathlon with skiing and shooting. That's not bad. Kind of like that. I think my favorite is probably for Winter Olympics. I kind of like the bobsledding. Shut up, Kino. Curling. I like bobsledding. I like it's wicked fast. It's pretty wild. Bobsledding and luge. Can't argue with hockey, and of course Pat's from up Canada, eh? So yeah, I'm a pretty big hockey fan. Not so much for the Olympics though. I think I just prefer the NHL, to be honest with you. My great grandpa was a huge hockey fan. What the heck is skeleton? Don't tell me that's an autocorrect either. You're probably coming up with some random nonsense. Skeleton. What is skeleton? Anyway, I like hockey. I remember years ago, and I don't know how it is now, because, again, I don't have cable television. I spend all my time on here anyway. But the Detroit Red Wings and the Colorado Rockies used to have a wicked, vicious rival with each other. And I don't remember what year it was, but they were in the playoffs, and they had such a huge brawl that the goalies actually got bored and went out and started fighting with each other just for something to do. That's good hockey right there. Ski jumping from insane heights. I do like the ski jumping. That's pretty wild. That takes some guts right there. What is skeleton? You can't. What is skeleton, you guys? I've never heard of skeleton. It's luge head first, and they call it skeleton? I've never seen that, but man, that sounds like a rush. Yeah, Roy, Sakic, Forsberg. Yep, those were the days. And don't let anybody tell you his name is Patrick Waugh. The name's Roy. Patrick Roy. I always hated that, man. He was a really good goalie, but he got so full of himself, he just turned into a real jerk. There was another really good game, and I think this one was the Rockies also, but I'm certain that it was, pretty certain anyway, that it was the Chicago Blackhawks, and I think it was the Rockies, and it was the finals, the Stanley Cup finals. It was pretty sure it was the deciding game, so I think it was. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a Game 7 where they went into like triple overtime. It was like 180-something shots on goal per side, and then finally somebody snuck one in. That was a good game right there. That was fantastic. Bobsled in a sled, luge on a cafeteria tray, feet first. Skeleton is belly down on a cafeteria tray, head first. Now, You know what? I'll be impressed when you can do it on your back head first. Yeah. Then I'll be impressed. Actually, what do they actually call it? Skeleton? I've never heard of that before, which is a little wild, but it sounds pretty crazy. Sounds like fun. I'd like to try that out. Anything else? Any other Winter Olympic sports other than curling? For whoever said curling was their favorite, shame on you. What do they call it? There's a bar version of curling. It's called shuffleboard, I think. That's what people play when they're like 90 and they can't do anything else. They play shuffleboard. Where's my old people here? I'm one of them, but last Winter Olympics, the one guy died doing it. He was doing luge. He was doing luge, and that, I don't think that was it the last one? He came around a corner and came up off of came up off the track, flew up off the track coming around a corner, and let's see what happened. He ended up getting spun around backwards and got slammed into a steel reinforcement bar or something like that. Okay, I'm changing the altitude on the MCP here. I'm just going to scroll it, just take it down to 15 for the moment. Okay, 14 then. How about that? Jeez. Here for what? You guys lost me now. Scale. I'll have to look at that in a little bit, Pat. Okay, so let's take care of our descent checklist here really quick. It says to begin 30 miles out. Well, too late for that because I was too busy talking to you guys. So, airport metadata, we need to grab the information. Let's tilt this thing down. That's good there, just in case there's any weather we don't see. And then let's just double check the weather right now. So we don't want it an hour out, we want it right now. Still 200 at 8 knots. And this thing does update. I've seen it update itself, so we're pretty much good to go on that. Weather's going to hold. Auto brakes set. We're going to need some auto brakes, folks. Let's see if they'll set this time. They wouldn't set in that last video. So we'll set auto brakes to 2. Oh, you guys are old. Okay, I got you now. Combat. You want me to do a combat descent? We're about to descend right now. You don't really want me to do a combat descent. Do you guys know what a combat descent is? Inboard thrust reversers open. Well, we're not going to do that. I don't know if this airplane could actually even take that, to be honest with you. I don't know about a combat descent. I got it going down to 14,000 right now. I'll think about it. FMC rivals page has already been taken care of, actually, so we're good on that. We do need to do our approach speed. So if I pop this guy up here, let's see. I was thinking about that combat descent, so that's not what I'm looking for. 30 degrees. See, we're landing as fast as we took off. It's almost like the thing's, you know, it's almost like the thing's saying, okay, yeah, now I'm heavy. You mean side slip? Puke bag at the ready. Yeah, you got the spiral down version. Okay, so we're going down. I'll tell you what. If you guys want to see it, we'll go down. Let's see, 3,000. I'm just trying to think here. Let me think about it for a few minutes. Let me think about how I want to go about that. If we do it, we could do it from 14,000. 14,000 would be good, right? Okay, so let's take a vote here. If you want to see I'm not going to do the spiral version, and I'm not going to do reverse thrust. I might side slip it. If you guys want to see essentially what amounts to a combat approach, then oh, you were joking, so you don't want to do it now. Okay, never mind then. Too bad. I was considering it. Okay, let me pop this up over here. 111.15 on the radio. Not on that radio. no, that's not nav radio. We gotta go to this one. 111.15 is already in there. Did it for us. Well, that's kind of nice. Makes it a little bit easier. Probably don't need quite as much tilt as we have. Let's take one out of there. Yeah, -1 will be good. Kevin wants me to do it. Cruel says he was joking. Let's take care of our initial approach check. We got a ways to go, but we're going to go ahead and take care of the initial approach checklist anyway. We've already obtained the ATIS. We did that when we popped up our weather briefing there. We've already accomplished the approach briefing. Decision height and MDA bugs are set. We're set for 200 feet radio altimeter. Landing data, we've already taken care of that. That was what I did with the FMC there when I went to the where it told us 145 is our VREF speed. Seatbelt selector, we never turned it off. ICUS recall, nothing coming up, so we're good there. Auto brakes, we put them at 2, that should be fine. And let's see, once we hit 18,000, which we got a ways to go, wing lights will be as required, altimeters will obviously be changed, and then flaps are basically on schedule. So that'll leave us with the final approach checklist. All 4 engines to cut off, windmill start at 5,000. I don't think this does a proper windmill start, to be honest with you. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. At 5,000 feet, I don't think we're going to have enough left. You've been watching Captain Walton on approach? Yep. Captain Walton's, he's a good cat. Good friend of mine. He's also the president of National Virtual, in case you were wondering. Good guy. I was hoping he'd be on here today. I haven't heard from him in a little while, but I haven't caught any of his videos lately either. But yeah, I like Walton. He's good people. So I don't know. You guys kind of got me tempted now. I still kind of want to do like a combat approach, but I don't know. That's not an easy task in a 747, guys. I mean, it's one thing to side slip, you know, a little freaking private jet, but I don't know about side slipping a 747. I mean, that's seriously no joke. No, we got 16 people on here watching now. It's like they heard. It's like they heard what? Somebody's doing a crazy freaking thing in a 747 on a flight sim. Oh, we gotta check that out. Good times, good times. I don't know. Let's take a vote. Let's put it to a vote. What do you guys think? If you want to see me do a version of a combat landing from 14,000 feet, what I'll do is at 14,000 feet, I'll turn from downwind to final while descending and try to land it. I have to laugh because that's like insane. We wouldn't even use the ILS on that. Hopefully we have visual. We can only do it if we've got a visual. If we can't see, we can't do it. You guys tell me. I'm gonna look at my charts. Combat landing. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And it's on the shorter runway. I mean, this is not a freaking C-17, you guys. Just remember that. That's not what I needed. I need this. Let's see what we got here. A few clouds out there, a little bit of moisture in the air, nothing too shabby. Let's see, at a race we got to be at or above 24,000. We already passed that? Yeah, we are. We're already on our way to Cram. Nothing for Cram. MASH is between 16 and 14. Flan. Yeah, we got a couple altitude restrictions. We'll see. We will see. Alright, let me shrink this. Get that out of the way. No to combat. Save that for DCS. Yeah, I have fuel for another pass. Yeah, I did almost run out at Innsbruck. That's crazy. Pat says combat descent. Cruz says no. Kevin says yes. Auto rotation in a Huey was good enough for you, huh? Well, 3 people bailed while we were talking about it. I think we're gonna go with no on this one. Let's try to keep it proper and clean. You know, but you mentioned DCS on their cruise, so let me ask you a question. Let me bring this down to 3,000 real quick. I've asked it before, but nobody really responded to me. Would you guys have any interest in seeing any DCS World stuff on my channel? Because I do spend some time with DCS. It's a lot of fun. I've gotten pretty good with the Huey and actually started putting together my own mission with the Huey, which I need to get back to that at some point. But yeah, I started creating. You guys have all seen the movie We Were Soldiers, I'm assuming, and you remember that was the first ever helo assault from the air cab, and so as best I can, based on the terrain that's available in DCS, I've been trying to put that together as a mission. So that's a lot of fun. I do fly with a virtual fighter wing, fly F-18s with them, VFA-2. That's a good time. That's actually really cool. They're a very limited. It's a small group. They're very what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say picky. That's not the right word. They're very selective about who they allow in. So there's only like 8 guys total, including myself. So that's really awesome, being able to be part of a really tight-knit group like that. They're a lot of fun too. Jay Slow would watch some DCS. Pat would like it, and maybe drag you into it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I can't maybe put together some DCS videos. We need to change our altimeter setting here. What did we say it was? 2995. So we're at 2992. There's 5, and then you press the standard button again. I don't know why I went to 4. No. 5. Went back to 4 again. Why did it do that? That's kind of weird. I can't even see that one. There's 5. I know why. It's because when you click it, it moves it 1. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit of clouds out there. Nothing hurting our visibility though. Jay says he'd watch it too. San Antonio says he'd watch it. So I don't know how much you guys know about DCS. Now I'm no master of it. Believe me, I get killed in it a lot and all kinds of stuff. But I'm getting pretty good with the Huey. So I'd probably start by doing a few videos with the Huey. In fact, I've been working on a series of come on, brain function, medevac missions that somebody put together. DCS, you're kidding, right? Are you kidding, Cruel? On what is DCS? There's no way you don't know what DCS is. I'm gonna wait until you answer that. San Antonio's not even waiting. It's Digital Combat Simulator, and it's free, but you have to pay for all the add-ons, right? It's a blast, you guys. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It's a good time. That, and there's a couple other things that I've been wanting to ask you guys about anyway. I figure it's better to ask. You're sheltered. It's better to ask on the live stream. What about Elite Dangerous? You guys, okay, first of all, Cruel, do you know what Elite Dangerous is? I look over here because this is where I've got the computer that's got my that's got the chat window up or whatever. You'd love to get into it, but yeah, the stuff's not cheap. But there's a lot of stuff. You know, you can get the initial free download, and then you know, that's got a what has it got? A Su-25 in it, so you can do quite a bit with it without paying any money. But eventually, obviously, if you get into it, you're going to spend some money, just like you do with anything else. Okay, so you do know what or what Elite Dangerous is. So that's my next question. Elite Dangerous, love that game. It's a blast. I've got I haven't played it in a while actually. I've got the add-on with the engineers and the other one, which is I forget what the other one was. The initial add-on that came out, and then the engineers followed it, where you can land on planets and stuff like that. That's a neat game. It's a lot of fun. So would you guys be interested in seeing anything from Elite Dangerous as well? And then my last question was, because eventually I do want to put more stuff on my channel. I love Flight Sim, and obviously this is like my primary thing, but you know, I'd like to be able to include some other stuff eventually. But the other question was going to be about the one that just came out, No Man's Sky. And I'm a little hesitant to ask about that one because as I've been playing it, it's fun to play in small doses because it can get very, 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 very repetitive very quickly. So small doses on that, but maybe some No Man's Sky. But DCS is something I'll definitely look at doing sometime in the not too distant future. And then if you guys are interested, Kerbal. If you guys are interested, we can do some Elite Dangerous as well. And then, I don't know, we'll see from there. So, cool, good times. Oh, I gotta shift my chair just a little bit here, make sure I can reach the pedals. My rudder pedals are a little off center, so it feels funky. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Coming up to, you know what, well, we can't really do the approach checklist yet, but let's see, the FMC speed should drop down here pretty soon. Let's just let it do its thing for now, and this is going to take us all the way up to vectors, and then from there we're going to head, we said 360 degrees and then swing back around. So let's go ahead and set, well, that's already set for 360 degrees, so we can just change to heading mode once we get past, I gotta look at it now. Once we get past stacks, which is right up here, and it's expecting us to go 360 degrees anyway. But the thing is, if you look at this, because it's vectors, it just continues on. It does not jump over to Reese, and I'm not going to connect them on here. So we're gonna, you know, use the MCP and direct where the aircraft goes via that means. Oh, itchy nose. Sorry, guys. You got to upgrade the computer, huh? Well, I guess we all got to upgrade at some point. What do you got right now, Jay Slow? I wish my nose would stop itching. It's freaking ridiculous. I'm going to double check this. Sometimes this changes. See, it's down to 144 now. So we can change it. It's not really going to make, you know, 1 knot's not going to make that much of a difference, but there's our airfield right there. Drag required. We need to slow her down. Throw those spoilers out there. We don't really need full spoilers. Just about to come below 10,000 feet. We can bring the landing lights on. Oh, and it's getting bouncy. Good times. Let's get the landing lights on. We don't need taxi lights yet. We don't need runway turn-off lights. Looking good on fuel. We got plenty of fuel for a go-around if we need it. Take those spoilers back just a little bit. We're on VNAV path, which is where we need to be. We need to go ahead and throw in that first setting of flaps here. And let's throw in the second setting of flaps. That's looking pretty good right there. So you can see that that's our minimum speed for flaps 1. That's why I threw in the second setting. Go ahead and take those spoilers back out now. It's about to make the turn from stacks. We'll let it start to turn on its own. And then we'll continue down to 3,000 feet. And we'll put it on heading mode. It's weird how you hit those turbulence and they just go away. And you might think that that's a little unrealistic unless you fly a lot. But I've experienced that a lot flying around here in the Phoenix area, especially with the thermals. The thermals bouncing around like crazy. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's go ahead and put it into heading mode now. So we're no longer on LNAV, but we are on VNAV. Now it's on VNAV speed. I don't like that, but it is what it is. So, okay. Good old laptop. Yeah, well, laptop gets it done for a while, doesn't it? You're going to turn to 360 degrees? Oh, you got to hit the select button on this. That's why. It just held what we were at. So let's go ahead and move it a few degrees. Let's move it to 10 degrees. Stop it. Move it to 10 degrees. Select that. And that'll just move us back over. It's just a little, creating a little separation there. And let's see. Our rate of descent should be decreasing because the aircraft is on VNAV speed, which means it should slow. It should decrease the rate of descent. In other words, bring the nose up to slow down to 210 knots. It's not doing that right now. So, interesting there. Yeah, so you can see I'm just getting back over here so that we have that space over there. There's our airport. That's our runway right there, 18 left. It's kind of cool the way that's set up, flying over the top like that. I'm waiting for somebody to do a really good add-on for this airport. One of the subscribers, one of you guys, has specifically requested a flight into this airport. But I'm waiting for that scenery to come out, so we'll see how that goes. Go for visual and manual approach, please. Oh, you mean you don't want me to fly the ILS? Is that what you're saying? So you want me to, what, take over right now? I'll tell you what. Let's take it to 5,000 feet. And you want me to fly by hand so that you can make fun of me, right? Alright. Let's let the aircraft settle a little bit, and then once it does, once it's settled at 5,000 feet, I'll take control of the aircraft. How's that sound? I think FS Dream Team might have one. I don't remember. But I remember I looked at one and it was like really expensive and it didn't have great reviews and stuff. People said it was just an absolute train wreck. So, I don't know. Now, robot. That'll be more funny. Thank you for that. I'm going to leave the auto throttle on just so that you know, because in the real world, I don't think they're about to try and hand fly a 747 any more than, I mean, they will. They'll hand fly it, but they're going to let that auto throttle do its thing. You got to be careful with it with these types of aircraft. There's no doubt about that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and bring the flaps 10. So I'm going to leave the auto throttle on. Oh, it's bouncing all over the place too. You're killing me, man. All right. Let's set up our view here. Turn that on. We're good there. Okay. You're killing me. Autopilot coming off. And she starts to nosedive right away. Of course she does. All right. Come on. I need to bring in just a little more trim, I think. Alrighty, we'll be turning to Reese here momentarily. And it's bouncy too, which is of course making it so much more fun. It's actually not that hard of an aircraft to fly by hand. They're already doing that on St. Martin. Stay up there, you. Alright, so we're going to keep the auto throttles on for the moment. We'll take them off here after we make our turn, but I'm going to keep auto throttle on through the turn. And I won't be able to look at your guys' comments until after we put her down on the ground, because every time I look over there it does that. So good luck. Thanks, appreciate it. You're the one who's making me do this. Okay, we're going to start our turn to base and then final now. Let's watch that altitude. She's going to try and descend on us, and we're going to have to fight her the whole way. I'll tell you what, this Active Sky 2016 is no joke, huh? Into. We just want to take just a notch out of there. We do need to actually come down quite a bit. We're definitely high, because at Reese we're supposed to be at 3,000, right? So I'm going to let it start to come down a little. You know, the problem with doing this, of course, is going to make it really hard to do the final approach checklist. We don't want it to descend too quick here. Let me go ahead and arm the spoilers. Okay. Let's go ahead and level her off for a minute here. Ooh. Yeah, we're definitely too high. Shocker, right? Captain Mac's always high on approach. Okay, let's bring that speed down. I'm going to have to take over the speed here soon, too. Start our turn here. Next setting of flaps. Let's see if we can see anything. It's a little choppy right now, isn't it? Not just the weather either. The sim's a little choppy. Altitude alert. Yep. Descending just a little too quick here. Not too bad. We overshot it just a little bit. That's okay though. We got some distance to work with. We're underneath the glide slope, which is good. We want to be. You want to intercept the glide slope from beneath, so we just need to come back to the left a little bit here. Just like that. Looks pretty good. Okay. And we're going to look to bring her down to 3,000. And then we'll trim it to try and hold about 3,000 until we catch that glide slope. You can see we're just about on the localizer now. Good strong wind. Just off the left side of the nose a little bit there. Man, you're making me hand fly this thing all the way in. That's just ridiculous. Shame on you. Just go ahead and level it off there for the moment. Come on, level off. Come on, throttles, kick in. Oh, there they go.
2,500.
Yep. Oh, that wasn't me, by the way. That was, though. All right. Back to 3,000 where we want to be. And 144 is what we're looking for on here. Okay. Gotta bring that landing gear down, my bad. Okay. Well, we'll do what we can of the final approach checklist. Okay, but let's be realistic here now. I can't be looking at that thing. That's way too fast of a descent.
2,500.
Yeah, thank you. Need those throttles to kick in. That's where we want to be for now. Got just a little to the right. Probably get bouncy again here in a minute. We'll take the auto throttles off here when we get on short final. Hopefully that will satisfy you. If not, well, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I'm already fighting with it. Okay, coming up on glide slope here. Still just a little bit to the right. You can see the runway out there too, so I can tell we're a little to the right. I'm just letting it kind of drift over there. Not trying to force it. You can just barely see the runways at this distance, so I'm still kind of using my ILS indicators here since we did tune it in. Almost on glide slope. Start to let her come over just a little bit. A little bit more. We want to keep our rate of descent. It's going to need to be right around probably 700 feet per minute. There's 450. 5, 6. You gotta watch it or she'll drop under it really fast. 750. See what I mean? There's 850, and that's gonna put us underneath, so we don't want that. Alright, let's go ahead and kick off the auto throttles here. And what are we at? 66. Okay. 650, looking pretty good, not too bad. Get that stupid caution light off. Okay, bring those throttles back just a little bit more. Get just a scotch high there. It's not real bouncy, but it's definitely moving the airplane around quite a bit. So we got just a little high there. We all know Captain Mac always high on approach. Bring those throttles back a little more. I'm not going to mess with the trim too much. I'm going to try and use the throttles to control my rate of descent here. So you see it's starting to drop really quick because I pulled the throttles back. Now I bring a little in and just pull back on the yoke gently. Just try and keep it right in that area there. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to keep this part of the runway. I'm going to try and keep it right about the same spot in the windshield. It's actually going to get a little low in the windscreen there, and that's where we're going to want it, but not too low. Just a little fast. The wind shifted. You see it's coming off the right side of the nose a little bit now, so it's kind of pushed us left. Okay, we're looking pretty good. We're just a little bit high, not too bad though.
1,000.
Bring those throttles back a little more. We're doing pretty good. Nice long, slow approach in. 800 feet per minute. Okay. See how it's going to end up just a little low in the windscreen. Just a little though, not bad. See if we can bring her in nice and smooth, huh? It's a short runway too, so a little bit of crosswind. Just bring in a touch of left rudder right before touchdown.
500.
You can't really tell in the sim when you're pointed to the side very much. I mean, we are, but just barely. A little quick on the descent there. There we go.
300.
Looking good. A couple of FedEx planes over there.
200.
Come on. Hold steady.
100.
It's drifting on me now. That wind shifted a little.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
There we go. There's 80 knots. Auto brake should have kicked off. Little bit of chop in the sim there. Sorry about that. Alright, let's take her off the runway. And then we'll turn the track IR off and clean her up. That wasn't too bad, huh? Sure, Robot's upset he doesn't have anything to laugh at me for. I can fly a plane, people. I can fly a plane. I don't even know where we're going, to be honest with you. I haven't even paid attention. But you know what? I probably went the wrong way. In fact, I'm almost positive I went the wrong way. Which means we'll have to back taxi on this taxiway and then hang a right and cross the runway we just landed on. Which is kind of funny, actually. That's alright, though. Okay. Let's let her just kind of roll on up here. And bring her to a stop. Oh, turn off the track IR. What do you guys think of that landing, huh? Everybody already said nice landing. Thank you. Yeah, it was a short runway, wasn't it? C5 on an 8-mile approach. Yeah, dreamy's an understatement. 747's like a Cessna, but bigger. Sure it is. Sure it is. Actually, my bank angle was good, Cruel. Thank you very much. I kept it within the bank angle limits. Let's go ahead and get those spoilers back where they belong. Let's bring the flaps up. The final approach checklist was done. It was just done in my head. Hey Vic, how are you from Ukraine, buddy? Great to have you aboard. You just caught us at the end here. We just landed the aircraft, and we got a lot of chop for some reason at this airport. Alright, transponder needs to go to standby. There it is, standby, hand off to ground. We don't need to worry about that. Taxiways, we never actually noted those. I suppose we ought to pull that up real quick before we go anywhere, huh? Here we are in Memphis. Let's pull up the ground chart. You'll get the little download thing will pop up. Cancel that. And let's see. Here's what we got. So we landed here on 18 left. We exited down here at Echo. It wasn't entirely wrong going that way. So this is the passenger terminal. All the cargo stuff is down here. So actually we should be here on Sierra. And if we take Sierra all the way down... let's see. Doesn't really say. FedEx is over here. This is the FedEx hub. I don't know what the... Here's UPS ramp. That's where they had the FedEx airplanes at, on the UPS ramp. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come down here. We're going to park at FedEx's hub. We're just going to assume that we're doing a charter for them. How's that sound? So we should be on Sierra, right? Let's see if we can... Let's hop out here and just make sure. A little loud there. Sorry. Oh man, that is choppy, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Why is that so choppy? Come on. Okay, there you have it, Sierra. So the black with the yellow lettering, that's what you're on, and then the yellow with the black lettering tells you what you're coming up to. So I was right, we came off at Echo, we'll take Sierra all the way down there to that end, and we'll be good to go. Hopefully the chop will go away. I don't understand why it's so choppy. Look at that. 12 frames a second? That's freaking pathetic, man. What's that all about? It's not like there's a bunch of aircraft here, right? Stupid FSX. Hey, Cruel, great to have you aboard, buddy. Thanks for joining us. I sure do appreciate it. Hope you have a good day. Robot, I get the charts from Navigraph Charts. It's a subscription. I don't know if you use Navigraph for your FMS data, but they have charts also, and that's where I get them from. Let's continue with our taxi checklist. Flaps are set to 0. Landing lights can come off, taxi lights can go on, and strobe lights can come off. Speed brake should have already been disengaged. Yep, it went to disarm on its own, so we can turn it off. Landing lights, we just did that. Strobes, we did that, and we need to start the APU, which is way up here. Start the APU, and let's try to taxi through this ridiculous choppy sim. I really have no idea why it's so choppy, guys. So I do apologize for that, but nothing I can do about it. I have a really good system, so for it to be choppy like this is just absolutely ridiculous. So it's clear to me that partially the reason it's choppy is because whatever Microsoft did when they built this particular airport, they did a really crappy job of it. So, but it is what it is. Around the corner we go, and all the way to the end. Try not to cut it too tight there. And that should line us up. That's one thing that's kind of weird. So the center of your screen is the center of the aircraft. So we're actually, believe it or not, we're, a little, it looks like we should be like substantially left, but we're not. If I move further to the left to line up the center of the aircraft with the line, then we will actually be quite a bit to the left. It's really obnoxious the way that is. So, I'm sure most of you are already aware of that. See that the FedEx aircraft are over there at the UPS place. Turn the track IR off for a minute. This game frustratingly complicated for me. Yeah, Vic, it can definitely be very complicated. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, is the complexity of like the aircraft or whatever, or are you just referring to how ridiculous it is that like the frame rates and stuff are dropping? I don't know why I keep doing this with my hands. I keep wanting to pop my knuckles. There we go. If you're talking about the complexity though, Vic, yeah, it can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be. It really depends on what you want to do. This particular airplane, this iFly 747, this thing is very complex. And if the guys who've been with us for the entire flight here, they know what I'm talking about. It's very complex. There's a lot going on with this thing. It mimics a 747 quite well. Let's bring in just a little brake there. I don't want to really get over. I don't want to go over 30 knots. That's for sure. Yes, I am a real-world pilot robot. I fly Cessna 172s. I have a private pilot's license. Someday I'll probably do my instrument rating, but time's usually a factor. So, yeah, I am. All the cool guys are pilots, right? Let's see. I saw another question there. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure I stay in the center of the taxiway too. How do you get the weather radar to work? Well, in this aircraft, Pat, with Active Sky 2016, you literally just turn it on. So, for example, if I turn it on right now by clicking that button and then come down here, make sure it's set to weather on here, which is there, and then let's tilt it up. Okay, and then let's expand it out and see if there's any moisture in those clouds up there. Yep, so there you go. And it just pops right up. You don't actually have to do anything with it to get it to work in this aircraft. Now, I have Active Sky 2016, as you know, so I'm sure that plays a part in it, but beyond that, I don't know. Usually play racing sims like Race Room, iRacing, etc. Flight sims are even more amazing, though. Yeah, you know what? I haven't really been big into racing sims, Vic, but I do like to play racing games like Gran Turismo and Let's see, Project Cars is a pretty good one. I've messed around with that quite a bit on PlayStation. That's a lot of fun too. So I definitely enjoy those. Flight sims are a whole nother world. There is so much complexity and insanity that goes on with aircraft. It's unbelievable. In France, it's 200 euros for an hour with an IR instructor. Holy crap. That is ridiculously expensive. You know what though? You know what? Is that just for the instructor, or is that the aircraft with the fuel and the instructor? Because if that's the case, that's about the same cost here. Because that'd be what? That'd be about 250 US dollars, I guess. So that'd be pretty close to what it is here, actually. Yeah, no problem, Pat. Glad I could show that to you, be of assistance there. Next time you pop your knuckles, please give me a warning so that I may turn the sound. Oh, does the sound of knuckles popping get to you, Cruz? What aircraft? Oh, with aircraft and fuel? So I have a friend who owns a flight school out here, and if you were to take flight lessons with him, he's got 2 Cessna 172s. So for the aircraft, it's $125 US dollars an hour wet. That means you don't pay for the fuel. And then it's $60 an hour for the instructor. So that comes to about 185 bucks an hour, give or take a little bit. I'll try to remember that, Cruz. Or just spitballing here, maybe I won't say anything just so that you can tell us how much you cringe. Oh, we better turn track IR back on so we can see where we're going. So we got to swing this thing way up and around. Now, I'm quite certain that because of the way, of course it would come to a stop. Let's put some throttle in there. Probably not that much throttle. I'm pretty sure this is not quite how the taxiways are laid out here, and I say that because aircraft probably routinely land on runways 18, left, center, and right, and then have to taxi back here. FedEx being quite the busy, you know, this is their hub, right? So obviously they have a lot of aircraft coming and going here, and I seriously doubt they have to make this little ridiculously sharp turn with all their MD-11s and 747s and A300s and stuff, right? So just saying, pretty sure this is the way it's set up. That's with asymmetric thrust, we're barely moving. That's how tight we had to make this turn. Okay, let's go ahead and let off that nose wheel just a little bit. That'll give us a little speed there. And let's get rid of that thrust. There we go. Swinging it around. I'm pretty sure that taxiway comes straight across. In fact, when we looked at the chart, I believe it came straight across. But either way, here we are. There's FedEx parked where UPS belongs, and then there's not a single aircraft over here, and yet for some reason we're still only getting like 12 frames a second. Pathetic. I'll have to check your comment there in just a second, because every time I look over there it's like flings this thing around. Okay, so we'll just go down here a little bit and we'll just pick one of these and we'll park it. We'll go through all the shutdown procedures and then we can wrap this up and call it done and dusted. Good times, right? Who had fun? Tell me if you had fun. I had fun. It was a good time. Kind of started a little slow for some reason, but ultimately it was fun. I'm actually glad that you made the suggestion to go ahead and hand fly that entire approach. It's not easy to do. You can see I was doing a lot of work there. I was working. You're working when you're doing that. That's a lot, but it was fun. I enjoyed that. That was actually a good time. So thanks for the suggestion. Now let's see if we can get this thing parked without damaging anything. We're going way too fast to make that turn. Start in here. Can't see anything. Normally we would be like right here. Man, that choppiness is just ridiculous, isn't it? Okay. We don't want to swing it too tight, or we'll just end up overshooting it there. Not too shabby. Oh, let's see if we can stop it on the right spot here. So technically the nose gear is, it's what is it, 38 feet below you in this aircraft, and I think it's like 25 feet behind you. So the nose wheel should be at the end of that line right about now. So we'll see how close I came. Let me turn track IR off, put the parking brake on, and let's take care of our parking checklist here. Parking brake is set. ATC contact is not something we need to worry about. APU Gen 1 and 2 need to come on. That's why we started the APU. There we go. Now we've got those up and running. APU bleed needs to come on. I'm not really sure why. We're not going to be starting. I guess that's for a quick turn maybe. Engine bleeds can all go off. Engine hydraulic pumps can all go off. That's these guys, right? Yeah. Yeah. Those are all off. And then we might as well just turn that one to auxiliary because that's where it's going to go later. Fuel control switches can be cut off at this point. Man, that choppiness is killing me here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Plenty of alarms thanks to that. Seat belts and all that stuff can go off. Left click those. That takes care of those. Doors can be open. We're not opening anything yet, but we'll unlock that. Beacon lights can go off. I do apologize for all this choppiness. It's ridiculous. Okay, ground power. We're not going to turn that on. So let's hop back up to the overhead here. Yaw dampers can come off. Yaw dampers off. Hydraulic demand switch is off. That's these guys here. I think I keep getting that backwards. I think this is the demand switches and these are the hydraulic pumps here. Yeah, I think these are the pumps and these are the demand switches. But this says pumps, right? So which is which here? Nope. Yeah, these are the pumps here. Because when you change those, see, that turns that light off there. And then these guys, well, I probably won't do anything now that I shut the engines down, but these are the demand switches. So I think I got it right. Continuous ignition can go off. Auto start can go off. We were supposed to turn continuous ignition on, I think, for landing. IRS system can go off. Double left click each of those. There we go. Left and right utilities off. Fuel pumps can all come off. I don't know how the APU, I don't know where it pulls its fuel from. Window heat can go off. I'm just going to start, you know what, I'm going to do this as a flow, otherwise we're going to be here all day. All those can go off. That's good there. These, I don't think those go off yet, do they? Upper lower recircs can go off. We did all that. Isolation left and right can go off. Brain's not functioning. Here we go. Left and right isolation is over here. Generator control switches. Yeah, all this stuff can come off, 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 off. Those can stay on auto. TCAS is already on standby. And now the APU can come off. So APU off. Battery off. I guess we were supposed to turn those off before. I didn't see them on here though. All external lights come off. Oh, I guess I could have turned a taxi light off too, right? And that is it. We're done. Sir, done. What do we got over here? That was fun. Just need the hi YouTube. Oh, from the beginning, the hello YouTube. Yeah, well, I did the hello everybody instead since we're technically not on YouTube while we do this. How the heck do you turn the camera while turning your head? I saw, oh, track IR, Vic. That's something called track IR. I'll pop up the thing for you here. It's this guy here. This is track IR. So you buy this thing. It's got, you see this thing on my hat here that's reflecting? This is the clip, the track clip right here. Okay, and then this is a little receiver that's actually on top of my screen over here. And when I turn it on, what it does is it tracks my movement based on the reflection of these three things here. That's why I look so silly. I don't wear this hat because it makes me look cool. I wear this hat because it works for track IR. So once you get it set up and you turn it on, then when you move your head around, it tracks where your head goes inside the sim, so I can look around by just moving my head. So track IR, my friend. And looks like somebody already answered that, but there you go. Well, a couple guys answered it. I didn't get a chance to read their comments yet. Thanks for coming, Kevin. I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know that I had a good time doing it, as I always do. Let's hop outside here because that's a beautiful view of this aircraft. And it's fun to watch clicking those buttons. From the little one. What's from the little one? What are you talking about? Oh, you want to... Oh, the hi YouTube from the little one. I could try and see if she's here if you guys want to say hi to her. Hold on a sec. What? Yeah, sit right here. Okay. Ready? Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Let's wait and see if they say hi to you over here, okay?
Oh,
They'll type something in if they want to say hi.
okay.
Wave, see the camera? Say
Yeah.
hi. Look over here, see that? See in the corner up here? No, over here.
This one?
Yeah, see right there. There you are.
Do I?
See? Say hi. Wave.
Hi.
Everybody's saying hello. Okay, say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, hop down. Bye, baby. Okay, my crazy little 5-year-old son, I told him he had to go put a shirt on before he could come say hi, so he's coming down here too. There he is. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Okay. See, look over here. See the camera? Okay. These on. And say, well, I get these up. Okay, say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Wave. They won't be able to talk to you. They'll say hi here.
Oh.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Okay, say bye.
Bye. Why did you say do that?
They wanted to say hi to you.
That's
That's my son. What's her channel called? I'm sure she'll have one someday. Yeah, he loves flying planes, Kevin. He absolutely gets a kick out of it. So, yeah, he gets a little shy when he hops on here, and he wants to be able to hear somebody say something back too. So, yeah, he'll probably have his own YouTube channel one day too. Who knows? So. Well, guys, that's going to end up wrapping it up for this one. I appreciate every one of you joining me. We're up to 1,800 subscribers on YouTube. Can you believe 1,800 people actually want to listen to me run my mouth? So I appreciate every one of you. I thank you guys for coming and joining me on these live streams. They're a lot of fun, and I really look forward to these. It's great to have the opportunity to interact with you guys, and it's a lot of fun. So if you haven't done so already, as always, go ahead and smash that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Here on Twitch, if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see a little title link there that says YouTube. You can click on that. It'll take you straight to my channel. Remember, I'm not going to do an announcement video for live streams anymore. I might do one here and there, but mainly I'm not going to. It just takes too long to make that short little video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce the live streams on Facebook. So if you haven't gone and liked me or followed me or whatever you call it on Facebook, please go ahead and do that. And you can get to my Facebook channel if you go over to the YouTube page. There's a link on there to take you over to my Facebook page, and click like on there, and that's where I'll put them. Now, somebody had asked if I would do it on Twitter as well. I might do an announcement on Twitter, but thanks for following, Vic. I appreciate it. But I will not do come on, brain function. I might do an announcement on Twitter, but the vote will not take place on Twitter because they got that word limit or whatever, and I don't want to mess with that. So look for the announcement primarily on Facebook. If you're not a Facebook user, I usually come on here on Twitch, and where it says, hey, we're not live right now or whatever, I usually, about a week out, I usually put in there when I'm going to go live as well. So you can always look there, and I'll probably, the week before I'm going to go live, I'm trying to do it once a week, but, either way, I'll probably mention something in one of my videos, either Life of a Virtual Cargo Pilot or Life of a Virtual Airline Pilot. But look on Facebook. That's primarily where the announcements are going to go. And then, of course, as always, you can go on to any one of my YouTube videos, and if I'm already streaming live, a little thing will pop up on the side that says Captain Mac is live right now. Thank you. I think that's Joydo is how you say that, perhaps. Joydo12, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. And again, I appreciate every one of you guys, so please like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to follow here on Twitch as well. And that's going to wrap it up, folks. So, as always, keep the blue side up unless otherwise instructed by ATC. God bless every one of you.